me do my show. How's everyone doing tonight? Kyle Baldo or Subco by Byron Ortega. Hello. Now during the show, how are you? Now during the show, guys, and
1 minute
doing the radio, but just and doing the radio and enjoy. Just relax and enjoy.
Whoa, we lost Crystal.
It's time for your midweek motivator with CB and the boys. With your hosts, Crystal, CB, Booker, and the boys, George, your boy, Hallman, Rock Hawkins, and Jay Lee, UC Man. Get set for motivation, conversation, and fun. Now here's CB and the boys.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to CB and the Boys. I'm CB, and I got my boy, Mr. George Bowman in the building. How are you tonight, George? Okay. I guess George is not with us in the building. But tonight I also have the fabulous Miss Mimi Acosta back with us. Hey, Mimi, how are you tonight?
I am present and accounted for, sweetheart. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. We've got a juicy topic tonight.
Honey, I'm all up for it tonight.
Yes, it's going to be quite interesting. And we have Mr. Roger Hawkins also in the building. Glad you made it, Raj. Raj is busy, so glad you made it.
What's up?
All right.
What's
and
up,
George, Michael Boy Holman, are you there? Earth to George, come in.
Mr. Hawkins.
George, what are you looking at? Yeah, girl, go ahead. That's my girl.
Well, I guess.
For once,
George,
I feel bad. I feel like I'm getting down.
Oh, wow. So how's everybody doing? How is your week enjoying your day?
My headset is having an issue because I'm like, y'all, I'm just talking away. And y'all ain't hearing a single word I had to say.
We can hear you now.
You ish Casper on the screen, but we love you. We hear you. Hey, baby.
No doubt.
Oh, wow. So happy May Day, everybody. It is May, the month of sunshine and flowers. And, happy Mother's Day, Mimi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yes, yep. Sunday.
And happy Mother's Day to single fathers out there who are both father and mother to their children.
No, that don't work.
No,
that don't work. They pushing out a baby through that pee hole. Unless they pushing out a baby through that pee hole, that is not working.
No, what is
What you mean it don't work?
Somebody say that to
Oh, it don't work.
work.
Look, that's why there's Mother's Day, there's Father's Day, ain't no Other's Day. It's a mother, father.
Oh, how you feel? How you feel? Me?
Yeah, because what had happened was you can teach him how to pull out and pee in the potty, but you know the little girl is the little girl. You know,
Are you sure about that?
No, I know that. Look, here's the thing. I know that there's a lot of fathers that, you know what I'm saying, are doing their thing. I will never take that away from dads. Like dads that are single dads, I'm taking that away from you. But you got your Mother's Day and you got your Father's Day. Whether the father or the deadbeat dad and the mother is the deadbeat mom, it is what it is. You got a child coming out of the woman thing, and you got kids that ain't coming out of the man thing. So my thing, be in your place. Be a man, be a woman, and let's do the damn thing. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I got. Hey,
y'all coming up in June. Y'all coming up in June.
Look, I'm gonna be quiet right now. I got something for you, Mimi. In just a few minutes.
Oh Lord, don't pull up the man that's having a baby. Don't pull up the man that's having a baby. Don't do that.
That does happen. No, because I don't care. Yeah, you know what you originally.
I know it's a lot of different stuff that's happening in our world today. We're talking about Mother's Day and Father's Day, you know, Other's Day.
Right.
There's gonna be
I got
Other's
some
Day.
got some Mother's Day and some Father's Day stuff to show you.
Oh shit.
In just a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, that might be a topic for today. We talking about some bullshit today. I need to see him on the screen so we can do a toast because he looks like he needs some love. He's not on the screen. Let's go. I need to see him.
Mimi.
Hey.
Mimi.
Yeah.
Here you go, Mimi.
Yeah.
Don't see. Let me turn my hand.
Hey.
With
the pinky finger up in the air. Pull up your water,
right.
Mr. Hawkins.
Right.
You got that little itty bitty bottled water.
Well, I bet I was here before you today.
That's why you do underwater.
Exactly.
You do that.
Hey, look.
You do that.
Maybe.
You know I'm not gonna let you.
1 cup. Hey, maybe 1 cup. 2 cup.
Wait. Hold on a second. We ain't going too far with that shit right there because Mimi got to hydrate too now.
Boom.
Got you.
We are some grown folks on this show. There's some grown shit. You're going to do your drink and you're going to do your agua.
You got to be up for tomorrow.
We got to make sure we handle this liver and shit, though. You know, and some serious stuff, if I may say some stuff, because, you know, I know I haven't been here for a couple of weeks. There's a whole lot that has happened. But the major thing that happened recently, like a week ago, was the loss of my producer / brother / business partner. And he moved all the way to Georgia from Wisconsin so we can pursue our, you know, business venture and whatnot. And he was found unresponsive, you know, by his fiance. He's no longer with us. So rest in peace to my brother, producer, business partner from Racine, Wisconsin, Roberto Ivan Torres. And anyway, so yeah, you know, rest in peace to my brother, you know, and his queen, Michaela, and the entire team there in Wisconsin. You know, we're laying him to rest on Friday. So, you know, one love to the entire team. But yeah, man, we've been dealing with a lot of losses lately, and you know, I just lost another girlfriend of mine 2 days ago. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on, you know, and we gotta stay prayed up, and like when we do this, we really gotta do this behind it real.
Yeah, I echo that.
Yeah.
There's some of the things going on this front too, so I feel you. Well,
my condolences to all that are experiencing losses during these times, because, you know, these are some interesting times, you know, something that we've never seen before. So my thing is, at the end of the day, it's all about, you know, being what we do and being happy, you know.
Absolutely.
Strain away from the bullshit, which we're going to be talking about tonight. I'm all for it, y'all. I came ready. I came ready tonight, so we're gonna talk. We're gonna have conversations.
Oh, yes, you did. We missed you.
I miss you guys too. Look, I'm gonna tell you something, right? I don't post like I want to, right? Because I'm like the show. If I'm not on the show, I'm not posting. You know, and I did that like once, and I was like, you know, I'd be a bitter party at one. I'd be like, I need to be there. So I hit up my sister. I was like, look, I need to be on the show tonight. Put me on that flyer. Let me post that shit everywhere because we're about to have some conversations.
Nah.
We're about to have some conversations. Nah, and it ain't gonna be about. It's not gonna be about Happy Mother's Day and Happy Father's Day. It's gonna be about some shit, some real shit.
No. That's just what they call mandatory time wasting. But you just had to. I know you came locked and loaded. It's a good one.
But it's all love. It's all love, and you know what I'm saying? Like this show is all about love and things that are happening in the world and in the industry, the topics that people don't talk about.
Right. Or don't breathe over, and then you move right on. That means it's uncomfortable, which means you don't really want to address it.
Right.
No, we got you. Stop right
yeah,
here.
I know. We want to talk about the stuff that's uncomfortable. I'm all up for it. I don't care what the subject matter is.
Some people think it's, but then you get people that say it. You're welcome. So yeah, absolutely. So
right, but you know what? We're not gonna be loved by all. But we could be appreciated, and people could be like, oh shit, you know what? I mean, not what she said, but she's talking some real shit. At the end of the day, we're all realists.
Yeah, Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, Jesus Christ, none of them had universal approval. What makes you think you will? So don't worry about
That's
that
right.
shit. No such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Right there.
Yes.
No. But that, I mean, like I said, I do think that, I don't know, it feels weird because I think, like, everybody's going through something, of course, always. I mean, it's not last year and this year, that's all the time. I think what is beginning to happen is more people are starting to reach out and say, hey, I'm down with it. And then, which I'm glad about because, I had a roommate with suicide back in the 90s, a lot earlier than, before we knew, how to recognize mental illness and depression and things before people talked about it. It wasn't in vogue to discuss that, especially if you were a man. And so knowing several people that have done that, I think about now how people are actually reaching out going, hey, man, I'm just tripping a little bit. I'm going through something. Where are you at? And people are responding to it with that. Because anytime you look somebody in the face who's like, man, I just talked to him and I didn't know. If I would have known, I would have blah, blah, blah. Well, shit, hindsight's 2020. We all say that. And so I like the fact that now when brothers are calling on each other, but, it's a very hyper-masculinized society. We're way up here with masculinity, the machismo and all that. We're not supposed to be sad. We're not supposed to get down. We're not supposed to need somebody to listen. And that's why a lot of men do commit suicide and do this crap. And so now the brothers are asking each other, hey, man, come talk to me, come holler at me. I like the fact that other brothers are taking it seriously because you don't know who like you just by saying, hey, man, I'm coming through. I missed you. I've been thinking about you. I know a lot now say I love it a lot. I say it to my boys say it to me. There's nothing to it.
Yes.
Because you're no longer afraid of somebody looking at you going, what's up with you? Man, the hell with that. You don't know if it's going to be the last time you see a partner. And like I said,
that's right.
I know George, and I was just, the gentleman that I work with, the young man I bounded who was just killed last Sunday, as a matter of fact. And, what's crazy is my nephew, he held that man's hand and looked at him while he died because everybody was running. And he said he ran by, he looked on the ground, sees this guy, and he happened to know the guy. It's a small community. If you're in media or sports or whatever, you begin to know one another. And so for him to tell me that he was like, yeah, man, I had to sit with the guy. I couldn't leave him. And I just held his hand. And that's going to be burned in memories forever. But these are the things that some people have to live with. You never know who needs to be, taken out, talked with, supported, whatever the case may be. So, like I said, everybody got something going on. It takes time to listen. It's not just you. We all have something. And then some people make you realize,
and you said right in our age group, you know, back in the day, everything was a secret. Couldn't say this, you couldn't say that, you couldn't do that. Everybody was in shutdown mode, you know. And today, us who went through that are now speaking out, like, hey, look, this happened to me, and you to know that you're not alone. Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, the kids are seeing that now we're coming out and being very verbal about things that we have been through, and they themselves are starting to feel comfortable with, you know, hey, I go to mom and tell her that I've been through this or this happened, and that's why the world is so the way it is now, because even so much about All Lives Matter or Black Lives Matter or all the movements are happening, it's really about what we are, you know, the example that we're setting for our kids and the others as far as, you know what, if something is happening to you, sweetheart, you know, let's have a conversation about it. Let's talk about it, you know?
I don't think people would, you know, I've heard people say that no one would believe them, you know, and when that happens, they keep it inside. And then guess what? Years later, on a therapist, the professional, and known about them for 50, 60, 70 years. Can you imagine saying that? It's bad enough when you're 16 or 21. Imagine when you're 55 or you're 60 and you're about to retire, and now you have to let out the first time you ever told strangers.
Right.
So
and
I
you
do
think
think
about it is that, right, it still affects, and it still affects, like, okay, so I'm going to use my example because you guys already know how I do. I always use myself as an example. You know, I've been through a whole lot of shit when I was little. The thing about it is that my mom is 92 years old, and back in them days, nothing went about it. So now when I'm speaking to other women, you know what I'm saying, like, I became this strong force behind what went through. You don't have a lot of people that go through that. A lot of people come inside to jump off of this, they do that, start cutting themselves, tracks on their hands, you know how to handle. It really sort of like reached out to my resources, all of my biblical resources, you know, and churches and different places to get myself on. So I know I might be the person that have to like bring people out of their own shadows that they're living through. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, the secret is like, look, mom, I love you dearly. You know what I'm saying? But at the end, I got sisters that I need to help out. Like, yo, like I need this. So people would feel more at the end of the day. I also have a platform that people follow, that people like tell me, you know, and I use my platform and the resources that I have to make sure that I, you know, reach my fellow people and let them know, hey, look, you know, I'm all for it. Let's start a movement. Let's do this. Let's make sure that our girls are okay. You know what I'm saying? Talk to our girls. You know, if you need somebody to talk to, let me know, because I know how to, you know, bring the gap between teachers that are hiding.
But see what you're doing? Because in the good old days, and I mean that very facetiously, there wasn't nearly accessible help. And so if it's a family member, and it happens to be a member who may be providing or supporting everyone else, the mom or grandma, maybe people turn a blind eye. Could you imagine living with having to look at the person who's supposed to protect you and they go, just deal with it? See, there are way more avenues now to, you know, to get to help, to be there. And I
think that my mom still with me, that I can say, hey, mom, look, all is forgiven. I know it's your fault. I know that you came of a place from everything is a secret. You can't say things you don't want your grandma to find out. This person might do this to themselves. You know, stuff back then was so weird. You know, but today I'm on a platform where I could talk about this to other women. So it's like, you know, at the end of the day, mom, come join me. This is what we're about to do. You know?
Right.
And we have a great relationship today as a result.
Right. The world is wide open. People are desensitized, but also nothing is really taboo anymore. Look how much exposure everybody has by flipping up the level. So it's not a lot of taboo. I mean, kids are bombarded with like and information that took us into adulthood to learn about. They're getting all this shit in high school. And so because of it, it's good and it's bad. And the bar is set so high, it's hard to keep up. It's like, you know, it's really like, you know, addicted to drugs. But then it also desensitizes them to what would have been shocking and earth-shattering to us, man, have a way of handling it. So it's a gift and a curse. It's a double-edged sword. But the information that they have, that it's amazing, again, the ability to seek help and accept anywhere. You know, you have more people that are identifying, and therefore you don't feel alone or afraid. I mean, thank you in numbers, even when it comes to a group or talking or whatever. So yeah, that part is I mean, I'm glad that at least we get somewhere with that. You know? Long way to go.
All right, if you just joined us, you're listening to CB on the Boys. I'm CB. I'm a boy, Mr. Roger Hawkins and George Boy Home, and we have the fabulous Mimi Upperbeck with us tonight. And you can also find us every Wednesday as your midweek motivator here on Blog Talk Radio, as well as live on YouTube, CB and the Boys Radio Show, and Facebook, CB and the Boys Radio Show, as well as another platform, and we are so happy, iHeartRadio. So definitely check us on all of those platforms, and don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us, and if you have any comments, definitely leave your comments. We love getting your comments so that we can on the next show. So without further ado, we are going by the boys. Tonight's topic is doormats. And by doormats, I mean people who put up with the BS because they don't want, or they feel they have something to prove, or they're trying to please everyone in their life, not themselves. So our topic tonight is doormats in your life. And definitely give us a call. We want to hear from you. 516-418-603. Again, that's 516-418-5603. And back to CB and the boy. So doormat. Everybody has a doormat. And at some point, everybody's been a doormat. Has anybody been a doormat? Anyone have a doormat?
Hell, ain't no damn doormat.
Look, I think I'm at, like, that was like over 20-something years ago, and I turned that shit into a 9mm bullet. But I'm here today.
I mean, I can't see doormat. And don't get me wrong, I've seen it before. I've seen it. Seen several people have been that person to say, I'll take that, I'll deal with this, I'll deal with that. Because you're afraid of alone, you started alone. What are you worried about now? If you got one, guess what? You can probably get another one. But being a doormat, oh, you got me jacked up. You got me jacked up. I'm not going to stay just to not being lonely. You know what I mean? You're not going to do the fool with me and think I ain't going to go nowhere.
But it's the codependency that makes it toxic. When you're depending on someone for your survival and you're an adult, there's a problem where you let a man hell out of you, but you're so dependent on him that you survive without him. There is a problem.
You know what the first problem is? The problem is in yourself. If you're codependent, then that means you're not independent. If you can't be independent, then you don't need a co. The co is supposed to you. You're supposed to help each other. It's supposed to be a compliment to each other. If it's anything but that, then you lying to yourself in the first place. I'm just saying.
Okay, now in that, I think oftentimes, and I agree, G. But I also feel like most people, don't even recognize when they are such. See, most folks are just, I would do X, Y, Z, and that wouldn't be me. Everybody's going to say that. I've actually physically watched someone go from years ago, a coworker, very, very, very beautiful, intelligent, but I watched her go from he's God fearing, he's wonderful, he's this. You know, a little bit later to he got said he's never been upset with me, he's been wrong. To 6 months later, he's never yelled at me. 6 months later, he's never cursed at me. He's never like to watch that progression over the span of it was mind numbing because these kind of things happen usually very gradually. So see, when people never do this, look, no one walks in the door and takes a backhand gate and then goes, oh hell no. People are like, oh hell no. But the way things happen, people that know how to prey on the right type of individual are very sneaky. They're very sharp. And so you slowly introduce little things. And I've seen a lot of people go, how did I end with it? How did I end up here? So, of course, for us to sit back and go, I would never walk into that. Not day one, but 1,001. You don't even know when things are gradual and subtle. But to answer the question initially, I think we are termed as one born every minute. There's a sucker born every minute. Meaning, some people are just gullible, naive, fall for anything. But the flip side of that is some people pretty much are sharp and are always on the alert, but there's always that one person. Even if it's for a minute, a week, a day, there's always that one person that they've got on that team, and you may do just one thing more than you would normally do. It doesn't have to be super significant or drastic, but when we start talking like doormat or in some of our terms, bitch assness or things like that, because it is the one. Men, obviously, it's just the thing. In my opinion, if you're just telling someone to keep doing what you want, do what they want, because you don't want to be alone. Ooh, but some people, believe it or not, some people would rather have another body in the room and nothing else than the free world outside giving them all the opportunity in the world to. You just don't want to do it alone. I think we all agree with that. And if someone's got you convinced that, hey, you're the greatest thing in the world and that how much you need them, I think that's sad. But some people's minds are just not as strong as others. And anybody can be convinced at some point. It's just a moment of weakness, vulnerable state. It's just a thing, you know.
Well,
so it's conditions. What's up?
Well, according to the Oxford dictionaries on the web, the definition of codependency is excessive emotional or psychological reliance on a partner, typically one who requires support on account of an illness or addiction. For example, the tie binds most of us together in this chat called codependency. According to that, psychological condition involving excessive emotional dependence. So codependency is a concept that attempts to characterize imbalanced relationships where one person enables another person's addiction, poor mental health, immaturity, irresponsibility, or underachievement. Definitions of dependency vary, but typically they include high self-sacrifice, a focus on others' needs rather than their own, suppression of one's own emotions, and attempts to control or fix other people's problems. So the 5 signs, according to southstreet.org, is that people pleasing is one of the most obvious signs of a codependent person. They want everyone to be happy with little regard for themselves. Poor boundaries. Boundaries are an imaginary line that divides what's yours and someone else's. It can be physical. Caretaking. Dependent people are overly protective and want to take complete care of their loved ones. So those are some of the signs of codependency. That was 3. Number 4, control. Individuals often need to be in control. If they feel they don't have, then they suffer from extreme anxiety. And this results in attempting to control family and friends or people at work. They may lie and manipulate to make sure a situation goes their way. Codependency will often hold things over people's head, like, for example, codependent, excuse me, codependent will use their caretaking as a manipulation, a special tactic to threaten the person they are taking care of. Workplace codependents can be extremely bossy and have poor boundaries. They may boss around people they aren't in charge of, like coworkers or teammates. And number 5, dependency. Codependents are dependent on other people. They are often financially dependent, but mostly they are mentally and emotionally dependent. This becomes toxic. Codependents need other people to like them and are afraid of judgment. They might have fears of rejection and abandonment. Dependents may constantly need to be in a relationship because they feel depressed or out of fear or of loneliness. For this same reason, codependents find it difficult relationships, even when they are unhealthy or abusive, and we just talked about. Codependents often feel trapped in relationships and, due to poor boundaries, also find it difficult to confront loved ones of bothering them. Codependency can be worked on with therapists. Family or couples therapy can help manage dependent traits and activities, help people recognize unhealthy or irrational thoughts and patterns. If you find yourself relating to these traits, any of these traits, it is possible that you are codependent. Now, codependency can be treated. Addressing codependency will lead to a happier and more fulfilling life. And what I take away from all this is that it's important to love self and to find value within yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, then you're going to be dependent on, others to validate you, others to tell you you look pretty, others to tell you you look good, that you're doing a good job, that you're doing great. Boost yourself up. You don't need anyone else to tell you that you're doing this or you can do it yourself. And that's what I take away from that, and that's what I would encourage everyone listening. If you do fall in category, then definitely recognize the signs and symptoms.
Yes, and to back you right, definitely to back you right on that one. It all sounds like the traits of a narcissist. And there's only so much that you can do with that. But you have people that come with that whole codependency from little, from they're very young, and then they take it into the adulthood because they never been taught that, you are worthy, you're blessed, you're beautiful, you're great, we don't have these and why do I feel like I just fell off? Did I fall off? Hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, okay, great. You can hear me. Something happened over here on visual, but it's all good. So it comes from that you're not given it when you're little. You get into your adulthood, and then everybody pays the price. And it's such a bad thing if you don't either get counseling or just stop. Like sometimes it even takes like things really bad happening, like abusive relationships, for you to wait a minute, or friends or maybe loved ones to step in and be like, look, you are worthy, all the good things. Like you don't have to deal with this, or you don't have to deal with that. So it's a win-lose kind of situation because it's all depending on whether people want to stop and get help or they just want to go ahead in their codependency, and that's such a sorrowful thing to see. I see it all the time, and it's such a bad thing, especially with these younger girls, in their teens, in high school and whatnot, dealing with these abusive boyfriends or even adults today. To step out the box, like, okay, he's paying the bills, and if I leave him, then what am I gonna do? And they're so programmed in their heads to fall into that trap. It's like entrapment. I think it takes a very, very strong individual to come out of a situation like that if they don't even know where to go, what to do, or what resources they have, because they're scared to even have that search on their computer, because now they're living with somebody who's watching everything they do, a catch-20 that. You know, but I say shit, bungee jump, get the hell on.
Right,
Bust that head around.
My thing is they would have to want to get out of that situation. Like anything can be exited. You can leave whenever you feel like. But the question is, do you want to? And that's where, you know, the trouble lies. If you are letting fear rule you.
You got men killing women and women killing men nowadays with the if I can't have you, nobody will type nonsense. And a lot of people get trapped that. And a lot of people are just scared of being abused. So what they do is, you know, they stay in it. And I'm just like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Fight your way out of that, you know, because that's going to show, you know, like a narcissist is a coward.
Yes, they are, but you have to understand how powerful the mind really can be. It's easy for all of us to sit here now on the backside of whatever situation you've gone through and say all of that. But everybody's it was that easy, regardless of whether you were young, small, outward, you wouldn't have gone through it. So it's not easy to sit here and say what I would have done or what people should do. I agree 100%. Something needs to be done, but it's a strategic planning when you truly want to escape, if you will. There's a strategic planning that goes into that because people that a certain type of individual. Look, predators always study their prey. Therefore, they know how to isolate their prey. They know how to pull the support away from their prey. They know how to make the prey dependent by slowly taking away any type of anchors in the storm. And so by the time the individual looks up, you're helpless, hopeless. And then it takes a lot of undoing to get out of that situation. Like I said, there's a lot of help. But I think it's interesting because of all of those definitions that you just read. I need people that are on both sides of that. Like some of those can sound an awful lot like, you know, one individual who's, you know, codependent that they're in need of things to be done. You know, who's doing those things. But it's interesting because they all fall under the description, which we know the dictionary gives you one description, one word, and 50 different descriptions, 100%, but you can find some common ground in all of those. And I do think that when you listen, if you know someone who pretty much is kind of walking in the shadow and the footprints of several of those descriptions, you definitely have that on your hands. It takes the right individual to help pull them out of that hole. Yes, professional help is always recommended, but you can have someone who believes in you, who can more or less guide you, hold your hand and walk you out of that situation and open your eyes to that person. If it's too blessed, have someone go, no, I see where you're stumbling. Let me show you how you, let me show you why you aren't trapped. And if you show somebody you're amazed at what happens, it's only when you leave an individual, you know, floundering with their hands up, going, what do I do now, that they stay in that issue. But if you give someone options, guess what happens? So, it's interesting because I think most of us, when we think of the term codependence, we only keep it down to, i.e., you know, we need each other at home because I don't want to be alone, or she doesn't want to have to, you know, do this part of the job by herself. And I think that's a very, very small part of it, but that's just in terms of arrangement and people that don't want to be alone. But see how when you broke it down, there's so many subdivisions and categories of the term. Hell, if that's the case, almost everybody can be considered what you read can be considered to some degree. That's why I said they're levels. Because if you go, well, this is 100%. Every person on the planet be considered codependent because she just read about 39 things. But I do, if it's to a negative level, it's to a fault, then of course you say, okay, you know what? If we're in the middle of this, you're on either extreme, what's it called, category. You know, who doesn't want to add a boy, who doesn't want a good job, you look nice, say you need to live. I don't care what you don't. Yeah, but if you validation from someone that you do something or someone that you're aiming for, meaning you want your man or your woman's validation or your girlfriend, you know, your homeboy. What is the point? I mean, humans are really not meant to be alone. We are meant to cohabitate. You know, I say live collectively. There are people that do it, but in all honesty, we're not meant to, which means you do certain things, for the approval. It doesn't mean you're gonna die or live. It just means for the approval, admittedly, of people that you love and respect. Not everybody, important. And so again, that fell under the term when you go, oh, they need to be told this and shown. That shit we all do. You can't tell y'all nothing when you get your hair and your nails did. You can't tell them shit we got the right suit on in the first place. It's supposed to be like that, but it can't be debilitating though. If it is your weakness or your strength, that's a problem. That's definitely a problem. So but I feel like the people that just allow other people to just walk over them just to not be alone, or because maybe they feel like it. I've heard that before. It's heartbreaking when someone goes, I didn't think I thought I deserved it because it had been happening to me so long, or it had happened enough times. I just thought I was that person. Just out the gate and make organically just bad. Never done anything wrong, but that's being a victim. And that's gotta be horrifying when you're young, when you're an adolescent, a young adult. You're like, what did I do so badly to someone else that I'm just being punished over again? I mean, that's terrible.
Yeah, and I'm definitely the story of that. I'm the story of that, because I saw that happening growing up. I was like, oh shit, fighting is shit. Okay, the first time that I got into a real game myself, away from my Virgin Island people, and I was like, is this what we do? Because I saw this happening to my mom, and I was like, but this don't in the hospital. And mind you, I was pregnant with my daughter. Up in the hospital, the nurses would be like, when? Because he's gonna kill you one day. That was really my became real. My mom always protected us kids, but I saw her get mopped around the floor, and then that happening to me, and I'm like, and I'm pregnant, and that's gonna be happening with my baby, and the cycle goes on. Stop it.
Exactly. Right. You have to.
It's like, our last fight that we had, honey, that shit was like brutal. I was like, you know what, I'm down like this, and I'm gonna have to separate myself from this time. So you got to know when to do that, and it takes planning. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do.
The whole song. They wrote a whole song about it. Me. Wrote a whole song about it. We talked about it last week. They wrote a whole song about it. You know what it is? You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run.
I ran all the way to the islands. I packed it all up. And I took my ass back to the islands with that little baby. I was like, you know what? We ain't gonna kill each other. I mean, this is not gonna be the end of my story. So I left the bad boy, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and date a cop. So I dated a cop, and that was even worse. And of course, things and I wound up on the news, and I was like, okay, this is where the buck stops, because at the end, I'm not gonna be a punching bag. That was a natural reaction. That's what that was. That was his reaction. You immediately wanted to go from one extreme to the next. So, yeah, because I thought I understand. I get it. I understand. And now let me pick a good boy. Let me see if I, but the good boy was a bad boy. So
right. To change the uniform. That's all you did. You didn't pick a difference in person. You had typeset. You just picked a uniform. Right. You picked the typeset.
Yeah. Yeah, I took somebody in a uniform, and then it was somebody that the family knew. So I felt very, very cool. But honey, that shit was another entrapment, and I was like, and then that's when I was like, you know what? I have to have a conversation with a counselor. I have to talk to Jesus. I have to get into somebody's church. I have to work things differently, because I was 21 years old with 2 kids, and I was like, I got to figure this out before my little ones grow up into this bullshit. It sounds like to me, Mimi. It sounds like to me your picker. You gotta get a new picker. You gotta get a new picker. Your picker is broke.
You keep picking the wrong. You gotta pick it.
Yes.
You gotta figure out how to pick the right one. Your picker is broke.
Yeah, you know what? And I thought that at this age kick in, and it didn't. So guess what? I'm on the market. It is what it is.
Me too, girl. Me
Hey.
too.
Hold up. Are you paying
I thought
attention? Hold up. I got something for you. Hey, baby. How you doing?
Listen. We have some extra help for everybody out there.
Oh my Lord.
Extra help this evening.
I feel a song coming on.
Over there.
All right.
You got in that silver cup. Silver cup, man. Oh, Lord.
The wrong thing, whatever it is. I got a song coming out that just, and this is a thin line, and this is the H-Town version. So I'm thinking y'all.
I was ready.
And here we go. So what?
I knew it was coming.
What is coming? Doubt?
I'm killing me.
Hey.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Between love and hate, it's a thin line between love and sweetest woman in the world. Sweetest woman in the world. You make her that way. You keep on. She's being quiet. She might go. Here I am lying in the house. Bandits from VA. You see, I'm in a state of shock, baby. Just that much from VA. Yeah. I didn't think my woman could do like this to me. I didn't think she had the nerve. So here I am. I guess I'm louder than words. Between love and hate, it's a thin line between love and hate. Between love and hate, oh lady, the sweetest woman in the world can be the sweetest woman in the world. You make her that way, You keep from hurting her. She can find. She might be holding something inside. Back to back, because you say, ooh, sing it for me,
All right, y'all. It's a thin line between love and hate. Elaborate a little on that song. So one of the lyrics was, he's laying in the hospital, bandaged from feet to head, just that much from being dead. He didn't think his woman was capable of doing something like that to him. Like, and then the lyrics of the song, you know, you keep on hurting her. She keeps being quiet, but she might be holding something inside that could really screw you up. So, what's you guys' take on that?
Hey, as soon as I got to the hospital.
I agree with you.
Leave it to Jordan.
But George, this is coming from the prospect of the woman being so tired of your shit that she done lost her mind and jacked you up. So what you gonna do? Kick her ass one more time? What are you saying?
You got damn right. Let me leave. It's a motherfucking problem.
Going from the same standpoint, you're going from the vantage point constantly of.
This ain't no movie with a happy ending.
What about when the roles reverse? Because the subject is talking about being a doormat. That doesn't necessarily mean being asked for. It just means being run over. So if we're saying, or some people just run over other people, let them do whatever. It's a lot of, you know, what we call weak, pussy, whoop, bitch ass guys out there. Whatever you want to use. But the thing is, if she's pumping him, running, he's not supposed to be at liberty. So the question is, what should he do? Just leave?
You know what? He should just leave. If at the end of the day you talk about a man, testosterone, you talking about if he bitch slapped her, end up on the other side of the room versus, you know, the other way around. So my thing is, he just needs to leave.
If there's a man who's afraid that this person may kill him, and it's weird because it sounds weird.
It happens both ways. It happens both ways.
Yeah. So I mean, the same thing we're saying. Oh, he should just do it physically. He can outrun her, probably. Physically, probably move her and get her away. But what if she's a stalker? What if she slams his time? She comes to his job. What if she's him in public? Because it's a double standard. Clearly, if she punches him, probably shouldn't touch her back. I mean, it's just as bad for men. It's just not as prevalent. So even though we're talking about, oh, she got tired of him and she took him out, I get that of it, but it does go the other way. My thing is there a way to stop being what we call a doormat, or does it really have to just start all over? Does that whole thing have to blow away? Like, can someone be a doormat at one point, and then all of a sudden they stop, they stand there, and things still go well? How often have you heard of that? Someone going, look, you used to do everything. I was spoiled. I didn't have to do anything. I got to hang around and do nothing. Now you're making demands on me, and that's cool. I'm going to stick around, and we're going to live happily ever after that happens.
Or you know what? You don't hear of it a whole lot because people feel people feel embarrassed. Hey, me and this person been through this, and this time, and then it takes the fifth time for you to be like, okay, you know what? To hell with fuck you, get out, bye, deuces, and then they come back with the shit, and now you're living happily ever after. You know, stuff is going to happen. About it is that at what time, when do you decide enough is enough? You're gonna stand up for yourself. You know, you need a break. Like some people have been through things where they need counseling on their own. You know, like, okay, you know what? Oh, get his help.
Real talk. This is what it is. At the end of the day, the person that's being that door needs to develop some self-esteem.
Yes.
And that's where friendship comes in. You got friends. It's got to be somebody you can talk to that can help you redevelop your self-esteem so that you're not being a doormat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just means you settling for. You're just settling for whatever. Well, this is the dude, so I'm going to stay with it. No. Bullshit.
No. Right.
It's not.
But you have to love
it's not
yourself
the best you can
also.
do. It's not.
But real love starts with loving one.
Like I said, self-esteem.
Right.
People that allow themselves to be a doormat have low self-esteem. You have to fix that self-esteem. You got to figure out a way. That friend has to figure out a way to help them boost that self-esteem so that they don't continue to be a doormat. Because at some point, you got to open up your eyes and realize this ain't where it's at.
But the thing is, it's mind over matter as well. The mind is a powerful thing. And if you in your mind are afraid to be alone, if you in your mind, you look in the mirror, you don't like what you see. So what you're seeing may not be what the rest of the world is seeing, because of course we are our worst critic. No matter what, we are our own worst critic. So my thing is, if they're going to depend on a friend to boost them up and lift them up, that's dependent on someone. What they need to do is become self-reliant and realize that they matter, that they count. Love yourself.
You can't practice what you don't know. It's not codependent. That's what I was talking about. I don't think it's codependent.
Therapy. That is what therapy is for.
Then that's called listening to someone else. Is that codependent?
That's getting help. There's no shame in seeking help. As people, are ashamed sometimes, and they don't do it, but there's nothing wrong with seeking help. And sometimes you need help.
No, a lot of times I'm just saying, I'm playing devil's advocate, but I'm just saying that's where that whole all those definitions come in. That's why I said no. I mean, if someone can help you get out of that hole, let them help if they're genuinely helping. But people can't practice what they don't know. You can't just go out and just be better, because again, like we agree, if your self-esteem is shallow, if your confidence, if you don't like yourself, the first thing people have to do is you have to acknowledge and literally realize, hey, I really didn't like me, and I'm learning to love me. If you can't do that, if you're still in denial, you'll never the next step. But it takes having someone to lean on for a little while to say it's okay. You stumble, but you won't fall. If you do, I'll get you up. But if you feel like I'm down here and I don't want to get back up, there's your problem. I agree. You can't just call someone and go, hey, you got to save me again. That is codependency, yes. And that means that's someone who just wants you to do it for them. But if they're like, hey, Chris, you got to teach me how to stand up for myself, or you got to show me how you handle this situation. I want to do that. That's someone going, you show me how to do it, and I can never not know that again. Because we all want to know. If you want to know how to read, you want to know how to go to the bathroom by yourself, someone showed you, but you took and ran with it. If you were still asking someone to date, I'd have a problem with you. And so, I mean, you're right. It's everybody else. Nobody does it wrong.
Either that, or you spaz the fuck out to let that person know that you ain't taking that shit no more. Cost what it cost. 9-1, them motherfuckers involved. I'm so sorry, y'all. Y'all already know I will lose this. I lose all my shit. And then I ask the question later. I will tear some shit up, bust some windows out. 911 ambulance, let everybody show up, because at the end of the day,
I'll ask you a question. Can you? And this rhetorical question, but in your mind's eye, if I ask you, can you tell me which time number it was that you finally said? Can you tell me?
Say that again.
Who you are now. So going through what you were going through back. Okay, right. You know how many times you had to go through that before you finally said, I'm over with it, right?
I'm going to tell you something. I probably, with my daughter's father, I might have been in the hospital probably about 7 or 8 times within a 9 weeks to know I had enough.
Oh, my God.
And by the time I had enough, right? By the time I had enough, she was 2 months old. And I called 911 and threw the phone behind the counter. And I just went to like, I spazzed out, but it was a lot of time, a lot of chances, a lot of ain't never happened again. A lot of let's go to counseling. It was a lot of manipulation, because I'm here in a new state by myself, young girl, with somebody that's taking advantage and nobody to reach out to. So he knew the advantage he had over me. But I know that and I had a detective. There was a detective, I'll never forget him. He would always come out when things happened because one was involved a lot. He was like, like literally what the nurse said. Are you waiting for who to kill you? Like before you take this little baby and go out with your family? And that was like my wake-up call was like, she's born now. Like, I'm not pregnant anymore. Like, I need to get the hell away from this shit. And, of course, I took my baby and I went back to the island. But it was like a whole 2 years of a lot of back and forth, fighting, hospital, all this stuff. So there does come a breaking point, women, when we snap.
See, now this is where I have a problem. This is where I have an issue. Because why does it take so long to break a point? I'm thinking if I was a female in them shoes, the first time I was in a hospital, the breaking point has been broken.
But you know what, Doc? A lot of people say that.
I say that. And you're right. And I already know you're right. So I'm trying to understand. Because I don't.
And you won't, because that's how your mind operates and you're not in a situation.
I'm confused.
Right. And you're going to be confused because you've not been there. You've never been put in a position where you needed someone. You've never been put in a position where you didn't have any. And I only say that because I've had distant relatives and just go through it. Now, again, when you talk to enough people in your life that go through that, you realize it's not an isolated thing. So when you hear that happen, I love when other people go, shit, it wouldn't be me. That wouldn't, I've seen a lot of wouldn't be me lumped up. It's not as easy. And I'm only saying that because from the outside looking in, I've seen it happen. And I've seen it happen to people I would have never imagined it happen because everybody says, shit, that ain't going to be me. No, people are. You can do it one time and gone if you have options. But if you have nowhere to turn, no help, no anything, you don't think so. It's funny how we can kind of turn a blind eye to shit and just figure out a way. It doesn't mean you're not getting out or you don't want to. It just means that first time, what you going to do? Walk down the highway and then be like, shit, I got nowhere to go. I have to go right back. Because, like I said, it happens very gradually. I know we say it, dog. We all say what we would do, but I've learned that apparently...
I know, bro. I would never understand it because I would be walking down the highway motherfucker fucking with me. I'm just saying. That's just my mentality. Maybe it's a man/woman thing. The way we've encountered through our lifetime. But all I'm saying is I don't understand it. I can't fathom it. I can't figure it out. It doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I'm saying?
Because you haven't.
So when I see a woman in a situation. When I see a woman in a situation, all I can think to myself is, how do you keep doing this? How? What is going through your brain that allows you to justify what keeps going on? Oh, well, he won't be like that tomorrow. Bitch, he been like that for the last 365 days. What the fuck is 366 got to do with any damn thing? I'm just
I know what you're saying, man.
I can't fathom it. I just don't.
George, how have you talked to women to leaving with you? And some people go, you must be crazy. How did you do it? You talk to women.
Talk to somebody living with me?
No, just
talk to somebody living with me?
No.
I've never talked to anybody.
I said, getting with you, hooking up. Like,
I never have.
You ain't that cold. You've had to say, hey, my name is George. What's up? You've had to say something to make it.
I ain't never in my life, I promise you, asked somebody to get with me. That shit just happened.
There's got to be some agreement, though.
Period.
There's got to be some agreement.
Okay, let me tell you what. Let me tell you what. Hold on. Let me throw something at you. Hold on. Let me tell you something at you. Hold on. Let me throw something at you. And I've probably missed out on a lot of great women because of this. But here was my thing. I don't like rejection. So if I don't ask, I can't get rejected.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So everything I've ever had came to me.
To you. I understand that.
I went to it.
I know people like that. So I know you're not lying because.
Okay, so I have a question. So I have a question for you, George. Everything that you've ever had came to you when it comes to women. Have you ever had a woman that came with so much issues that you had to like, you know what, I ain't doing this shit, forget this shit, bye?
You goddamn right I have. Yes, I have.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. I have another question. See, now we're going somewhere, guys. Now we're getting somewhere. I have another question for you. And within those times that you have had those types of women, let's just say on any occasion, has it been a woman that's happened with more than one time that, you know, you forgave her because maybe she spazzed out today? Okay, you know what? Let me see if she's okay within the week. Okay, she tripped out this week. Okay, you know what? It ain't going to be a third time.
Guess what? No. I can honestly say no. Let me tell you why.
Right off the rip? Go.
Let me tell you why. Why. Now, that question might have worked for you with anybody else. The other 99 out of 100, they might have, but not with this one. Because here's my problem. I have an attitude problem.
Okay.
And you know what attitude problem is? If you don't like it, fuck you. I'll find somebody else that looks just like you that will. So,
I get it. Yes, okay.
This is the reason I can answer no to that question. Because you got about one time. Once I see that one.
Okay.
Next.
Okay, so here it goes. Because, you know, where it comes to, it comes through. Because you're the difficult one. So I'm trying to just crack through this whole shell.
Damn right I am.
So this is today maybe, and maybe the last 5, 10, 15 years in your life, from let's just say from teenager come forward. Have you been through those experiences where you was like, oh, this shit ain't gonna happen to me, fuck that, bye? Have you always been this way?
Yes. Yeah, I've been that way from day one.
And so good for you.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. No, I had one motherfucker that I really gave a fuck about. And some shit went down. And that was early career, whatever you want to call it, just to put a name on it. In my relationship career, early, I had that one motherfucker I was all about.
Mm-hmm.
And when she opened up the door and said, "Nigga, this what it look like," I was done after that. I was done. Okay. I said, I bet you want to get another one. I bet you it won't happen again.
Right.
And it was all about, and like I said, still being that dude that does not like rejection, don't want to be involved with it, don't want parts of it. So I'm not going to approach you. And if I miss a good thing, then that's my fault. I ain't got nobody to blame but me. But I know what the blame is. You see what I'm saying? So I've never been that dude just going to run up and holler. I'm not that dude. But you come to me, and then you bring a whole bag of issues. This knapsack you dragging, we're going to do one, two things. We're going to cut the string of the knapsack. Or we just going to cut the string of you. I ain't got time for all that extra. So when I can say I have never been on that end of the stick, I don't think it's because I'm so genius or nothing like that.
No. You figured out because very early in the game that you're not going to talk
very early in the game, I was so fearful of that type of shit. I never allowed myself to get in that situation. And then, as soon as I realized, as soon as I realized that women want the same thing that men want, only they were smarter about getting it, when I realized that, I was like, shit, nigga, it's on and popping. Because I'm going to tell you what happened. The first time I realized that, I had just got out of that relationship that I was talking about, where I had the one that made me who I am today.
Right.
When that relationship was over with, at that point I was like, fuck a woman. It ain't a shit a woman can do for me but suck me and fuck me and keep it moving. That was my attitude. So I met a chick, and we was dancing at a nightclub, and the first thing out of my mouth was, look, you cool and I like you, but anything beyond this dance, you do what you do, I do what I do, and when we together, we do what we do. And she looked at me right in my motherfucking eye, and she said, okay.
Right. But you set boundaries. You set boundaries right out the gate. Of course.
That was the day I learned. That was the day I learned. Women want the same thing as men. They just smarter about getting it than men are. To do some dumb ass shit to get the same thing that motherfucker they was trying to get the dumb ass shit to do, they would have done anyway. But they were stupid.
Right.
Real talk. And I truly believe that in my heart. Real.
I think security, though, their ultimate goal is security, and that comes in a lot of forms. I agree with what you're saying. When we out doing our thing, gaming and all that, yeah, they do. They absolutely do. And now they're a lot more bold and brash about admitting it. But in the grand scheme, it's about security. And that is on an individual basis what security represents to them. It ain't just about, because the same way we like, hey, this is all you can do for me, is not true. In that respect, unless you don't have any need for it because you have this love-hate relationship. But you're right, everything is centered around security. And so that's there. And where ours is, it's a little different. But, the one thing I'll say is I get that because guess what? Either one of us can walk out the door right now and come home with $200 legally and not have to fuck somebody for it. There's several things we can do just within our physical realm and makeup that aren't dangerous to us per se. These same luxuries aren't afforded, to most ladies. And so because of that, the thought process has to be different. And I think animalistically it's different. But I guess the whole thing is the reason you don't understand is because you closed that door, you shut that box a long time ago. You didn't want to deal with that, and therefore you chose not to. So there are going to be a lot of things you're not going to, like you said, I don't understand, and you won't. And I mean, there's things I don't either, but because you didn't allow yourself to go through the whole cycle of some of this shit.
That's right. His experience was this much compared to some of us that might have been through this much. So he didn't tolerate that shit off the rip. He was like, you know what, I don't want it.
Hey, here was the problem. I had so many friends.
It's not that you don't understand it, because you do understand it, but you're not tolerate that shit. That's the difference.
I had so many friends that was dealing with this much when I was dealing with this much. And I tried to tell them, hey man, what the fuck are you doing? Well,
you were that friend.
You showed
that friend. You were that friend that everybody needed or everybody needs to hear that shit. So it'd be like, shit, you know what, my homeboy told, you know what, fuck it, good. That you're that friend, so that's a good thing.
I can definitely.
So kudos to you, my friend.
You don't need to, but it's just like some people, if they shut that part of them off, they'll like some people go, I've never had my heart broken. It's because you've never, opened it up to anybody truly. Or again, you jumped off the bus before it picked up speed. It's whatever. There's some people that are like, in my opinion, I've never been number 2 or number 3. Maybe that's your opinion, but it's because either we didn't allow ourselves to think it, or you bailed out before that kind of thing happened. It's just a way of keeping control of power. Yeah. And sometimes we don't have the option. Sometimes you just have the option. Again, if you're taken away from your security system, if you're taken away from anything that you know, if you're taken away from your roots and anchors, you are going to be floating. And the first thing or person you can latch on to, you will, and that will become your port and storm. And so if that port goes haywire, guess what? You kind of ass out until you can swim. So again, I see what you're saying. Like, I don't understand that either. I don't know what, at least none of us, I don't know what that's like. But I know guys that know what abuse is, be that physical or mental. But now, I'm gonna slide over just a little bit. Mimi, being a resident islander. I've got another friend who's from a different island, but I understand that Caribbean culture is all very, very similar. And again, most of our, most POC culture is somewhat similar. The frustration is that she moved and is staying with her sister. Now, she and her sisters are close. The one sister that she lives with has it now. This husband, they've been together for 314 years, since high school, et cetera, et cetera. And she's vocalized her frustration because he does nothing. Not that he's incapable, but does nothing because, see, people throw the word spoiled around. Oh, he's spoiled, he's this, he's that. And I'm not a big fan of it most of the time. It has a negative connotation to me. But to say, he can do certain things, he won't do anything. And my question is the wife a doormat? Is it culture? Because, hey, we take care of our men. We do this, we do that. And so we'll get back to this. We got to take a real quick break, but I'm going to get back to my question in just a sec.
Okay. If you just joined us, you're listening to CB and the Boys. I'm CB. So my boys, Mr. George Boy Holman and Mr. Roger Hawkins. Jaylee Dushman will join us in the studio this week. However, hopefully you will return soon. But we do have Ms. Fabulous Nina Costa back with us this week. Welcome back, Nina. We missed you. We come to you every Wednesday for your midweek motivator here on Blog Talk Radio. So catch us on iHeartRadio. Like us, subscribe. You can also catch us on Facebook as well as our YouTube channel, both CB and the Boys Radio Show. So definitely like us, subscribe, follow us, and drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to weigh in on our topic tonight, we're talking about doormats, codependency, and toxic relationships. If you want to weigh in on the topic, give us a call at 516-418-5603. Again, that's 516-418-5603. And if you are in our chat, then definitely drop us a line. We'd love you. And as we do every week, we read your comments on the air, and we would love to hear from you. So definitely like us, subscribe, and drop a line. So we return back to the show, CB and the Boys. But it is time also for a quick music break.
Hey, wait a minute. Before you put that in there, you said all of that. You need a whooping.
Not a whooping.
Whooping. She forgot iHeart. Mimi, you know we on iHeart now. We on iHeart.
No, but she didn't. No, I know we are. She did say iHeart. Yeah, she did.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I'm about to get in my
Alpha male, you didn't listen.
Go to the corner. Go to the corner. Go to the corner.
George doesn't listen.
I'm going to the corner. I'm going to the corner. Look, I'm in the corner.
Grab your silver and chill in the corner.
What you got for us?
I'm going to the corner. Me in the glass, going to the corner.
All right, next up, the song. The next song for the music break is Can't Raise a Man by K. Michelle. And this song definitely kind of coincides with what we're talking about, for the simple fact that maturity definitely plays a part in toxic relationships. So here we go. Can't Raise a Man, K. Michelle.
try to talk to him, can't get through. Every day he's a different dude. These other side grown ass boys better run for the hills. I'm just trying to keep it real, like you can't raise a man. He's already grown, what you gonna do? You wonder he acts like a boy. It's 'cause he wasn't raised right before you. Girl, you ain't never gonna change nobody. If he don't want it, you can't make nobody. 'Cause you can't raise a man. No, no. Coming home any time of night, expecting you to let it ride. How many tears are you gonna cry? Playing games like you'll never lose. You know that your love is changed. How many times he called you out your name? These are signs of a cold ass boy. Better run for the hills. I'm just keeping it real. Can't raise a man. He's already grown. What you gonna do? You wonder why he acts like a boy. It's 'cause he wasn't raised right before. Girl, you ain't never gonna change nobody. If he don't want it, you can't make nobody. Hey, you can't raise a man. No, no. Ain't more than a miracle. Miracle. Change him, just let him go. Let him go. Tell me when will you decide to do better with your life? His mama couldn't do it, what makes you think you can train it boy to be a man? It's too late. Better off letting him go. No matter how hard you try, you can't right. He's already grown. What you gonna do? Yeah, you know how he acts like a boy. 'Cause he was raised right before you. Girl, you ain't gonna change nobody. They don't want it, you can't make nobody. Raise a man.
All right. Okay, Michelle, raise a man. Do you guys agree with that? Is it too late for a man to reform if he is a toxic man? What do you think?
He just needs to get help. I think it's he has to, for one, come to grips with himself and put his ego aside, know that he does need help, and then get the help that he needs, and then move forward with his life. And I'm only speaking from the very recent experience. Like some things some things I can't fix. You know, I'm just saying. Some things a woman can't fix. Like I can't fix that. My thing is get some counseling, speak to your boys, do something, fix you, and then move forward with your life. And I'm always hearing the friends.
Why we always got to be the one to be fixed?
What I'm about to say.
Because
Hold on.
So the question was asked as far as the man is concerned. It works both ways. My thing is, if I got my shit together and I'm willing to work with you on your shit, and you decide, you know what, she's powerful, she got all this going on, I'm the problem. And he decides on his own, you know what, shit, I can't deal with this shit because it's too much. I'm jealous. I'm insecure. I got issues. I need to fix my shit. Then go fix your shit. But I'm going to still be here as a friend to say, you know what, look, we may not be able to relationship because at the end of the day, if it ain't going to work, it ain't going to work. But I'm going to always be here as your friend. Like, do what you got to do. And if you need the resources, guess what? I'll do some research and send you some shit. So, and it does, like I said, it does both. It works both ways. It's not really about a man or a woman. It's about if you got issues, fix your shit before you go damaging some shit. Because at the end of the day, there might also be some kids involved.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, obviously, I will admit the majority of it comes from one end. But, yeah, let's not push it that way because it's just become, the main thing to feel. Because we're supposed to be broad-shouldered. We can take all that, so we get criticized. Yes,
right.
do it up in a lot of ways. But you got to understand understand there are toxic people on both ends. They're totally, and the thing is, to blame someone else for your screwing up. Look, if you're at a certain point or not at a certain point, you can't blame it on who you're with if you chose to stay. Look, it's a lot of people out there. I know a lot of us didn't choose to be single parents. I know a lot of us didn't choose to not be rich. I know a lot of us didn't choose to live where we live, and we are here.
Right.
And that's not your daddy's fault. It's not your mother's fault. You know, it could be everything that happens to us is we all products of our decision making. You ride with it, or you go a different direction. But you can't say, well, it's because of this person or that person if you chose to stay.
Right.
I get that.
And that's the point. It's
really thinkable to shit on us. It's thinkable because, again, we don't care. We can take it. But just being honest, look, it's some ain't shit women, it's some ain't shit men. It's just the difference is for Mark, we can't physically do, or you can't physically do as much as we can most of the time. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen on both ends. We can be drugged down just like, you know, we can drag you guys down. You're right.
Yeah.
It's about getting yourself together. And so I just look at the standpoint of, in this case, you know, this person is very frustrated because you see your sibling going through, and it's not that he's even, I guess, violent or abusive in that respect. But if you see that there's not he's not, you know, helping the load just on little things to get him to make work or do whatever. But, you know, other than that, you see she's got to take out the trash, take care of your kids, and cook, wait for you to bring him a plate and do it. But, and so what my question initially was, when does it become, okay, you say we cater, we spoil, that's how we're taught, that's great, but when does it become a codependency thing? Or when does it become now you just created a monster who isn't appreciative or reciprocative of it? When does that cross over? Because I know a lot of my Caribbean sisters brag about the fact that we know how to treat men. American women don't know how to treat men, do such and such because we go through so much. But over here, a lot of us incarcerated or we're single, things like that. And again, there's a lot more old school values, I think, because of smaller communities and not as much outside influence. That's changing because of, you know, the world is smaller. But I hear that and I see that a lot from my peer group of women from the Caribbean. But I also see a lot of their men will sit back, even though they're good cooks, they're carpenters, they're very capable, but they will sit back and just do this until the woman comes and serves them, if you will. My kid, if you're serving me, I'm breaking my neck to do something to reciprocate, because I think that's dope, but I know what it's like when I have shit done to me. Because I was raised by women that taught me how to do all this. I'm very industrious, and I can cook and do all that. So, but if someone were to do that, you recognize it. I just think when you get used to something early, it's really hard to break that habit unless someone shows you a ghost, and then all of a sudden they're like, you know what, I'm done, I'm out.
So from a Caribbean standpoint, let me respond to that, because this is how I think, and this is what I know because I've seen it a lot. In every single nationality, no matter where the fuck you come from, whether you are black, white, Asian, Islander, Hawaiian, wherever the hell part of the world or the universe you're from, there is that. There is the good, bad, ugly, abusive, non-abusive, all the shit. The thing about it is, it's all about who tolerates what. Tolerate it or you don't, whether you come from the man side or the woman side. You got a lot of men that are out here that would do the same shit. And I'm not going to say a lot, because I don't know a lot of men like that. You know what I'm saying? That would sit back and let shit be, whatever. But, you know, the thing about it, that, okay, Caribbean men, for instance, and I'm not going to say Caribbean men that from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Because U.S. Virgin Islands have those that are going to work, do the damn thing, make sure the woman is straight, all this stuff. You have men from different islands further than the Caribbean islands that are non-U.S. that come here to the U.S. and now they have to conform to what's happening in the U.S. Some of them is because, you know what, I need my papers, I need this, I can't work right now, I can't do this because she might call the authorities on me, I might get deported. So there's a lot of that happening too. So you're talking about, now you're stepping in politics. And that's a totally different thing. But I don't know any VI, because the men that are from the Virgin Islands, like U.S. VI, they're super freaking proud. And they got to make sure, because they're so competitive. Our island men are very competitive. St. Croix, St. Thomas, they're very competitive. I got to have the biggest house and the nicest cars and that. I don't give a shit if they don't have $2 in a bank account. But they're going to make sure that they get audio, that Beamer, or that bullshit, or the big house. Because they got to know the people home know. So it's not a VI thing. It's the other, like, you know, whether it's like men from, like, you know, Dominican Republic or Jamaica, or, you know, wherever they're from, where you have to have a U.S. passport to get to. Folks that don't need a passport, need is the ID to go home. We don't have those issues because the men down there are extremely egotistical and proud.
But are the women catering like that? Or do the women, so are the women just letting them get away with whatever? They holding them responsible? I mean,
not in the islands. Not in the islands, because I'm gonna tell you something. An island man is not allowed an island woman to outdo them. It's an ego thing. It's just an ego thing. Like it's some other shit that I don't even get, because I've been there. I've been there twice, and I said I'll never do that again. I'm sorry?
Are the men trying to, let's say, out cater the women? In other words, is it a healthy competition? I'm going to do more for you than you do for me, or is it I'm going to have my stuff?
Not so much that. It's really more about, I'm going to make sure that I'm taking care of you, because other families or my homeboys or anybody to see that I'm some weak dude from that just waiting for cars and big house and ain't doing shit for my woman, and they're gonna do everything for the women and children, and they might still get out here and get a couple other women if they do what they do. and that's not the U.S. the Virgin Island thing. That's a all, you know, that's a male thing. You know?
That's a male thing.
Where it is what it is, but no, other men from other you know, like I said, other countries, or, you know, like down island where you need a passport to go to, they have those type of issues just because of what they have to go through once they get in the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering, because I've heard it from this individual on a couple of different fronts, you know, this brother or that friend, and I go, because again, her particular culture, they're very catering. They're very submissive. They're very, like, old school values about just taking care, no matter what, taking care of the man. Everybody wants to hear that. It's interesting because coming from where we come from, everybody's got to grind back. And I'm not saying they don't, because clearly they, you know, a lot of these small countries, although tropical and beautiful, are still considered third world. I think it's interesting that these guys, gentlemen, tend to be super, you know, entitled. Because, and maybe it's because there's a bigger male population or women population than men. I don't know what the reason is. It just seems like a comment that they're being.
But you know what it is too? Let me tell you what it is. A lot of stateside women have a fantasy about island men, whether it's, they got bigger dicks, or they got this, and a lot of them come to the islands for like carnival and shit like that. And they get caught up in all the mix, and before you know it, they take in. I'm keeping, you all know how I keep my conversations, keep my shit super real. And what happens is caught up in the mix, and they get caught up in the idea of, well, maybe if I get him from down there and get him up here, I can make sure he's okay. And then these men are like, shit, if she thinks I'm all that, then I'm gonna get it there, and then I family up, and it becomes the bullshit.
These people are both
get 90 Day Fiance.
It's not one American and one Caribbean. They're both from the same place. That's why, like I said, they've been together since high school or very young, secondary, grammar, whatever they call it.
So she chose to get caught up in the bullshit. She did that to herself. Because there are going to be some men that are going to be into that shit. You want me up here, then, you know, you could do this, but, you know, I could chill back, stay home, take care of the kids. Big example.
Yep.
My older brother. I don't want to talk about my older brother like that, because at the end of the day, that's my older brother. But, you know, he's Rastafarian. He done got involved with a woman that's like the first African-American engineer in the state of Wisconsin.
Oh,
so even though she's from our island, you know what I'm saying? Like, she came up here, did her shit, but she's a Rastafarian. He's got a whole congregation shit going on, boba dread shit. But he stays home, takes care of the kids, makes all kinds of shit by hand and sells it.
I've heard it.
If she decided that that's what she wants to deal with, then it's on her, and he's gonna stay home to be the sports dad while she's working and doing the damn thing and bringing home a check where you don't know where his check is coming from. But if she's the baby, I got this because I'm doing this for years, and you can stay home, watch the kids, go back, sports, all that other shit. It's an understanding. There is no woman, no island woman, who can have an island man come live with her and do nothing, and she'd be okay with it unless it was an arrangement and an understanding from the get-go. Period.
Right.
All right, check this out. I got to jump in here and do something right quick. Just got to jump in here.
It's only take a second.
It's going to take a second.
I'm going to need y'all not to feel any kind of way that you have to see. But let's
stop for 1 minute.
Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
What contains explicit lyrics. Right.
Boys, it's some mature shit happening in this place right here, and every time me and Cosby come in the build, that's what it's gonna be. It's some mature conversation.
I'm just saying.
That's it.
And all of those who are on
all those listen to us, be iHeartRadio and Blog Talk Radio. I know you couldn't see what I just did, so I'm just gonna tell you what it was. It was this show contains explicit lyrics and video. We might say fuck, shit, kiss my ass, get the fuck out, all that damn some shit. And if you got kids and you listen to this shit, well, you may not need to be listening, because that's what we do.
Exactly. And if you're just joining us, you are listening to CB and the Boys. George, back over at home, just read the disclaimer. So we are running explicit content. So if you have kids in the room, you definitely want them to exit the room. We come to you every week, Blog Talk Radio, every Wednesday for your midweek motivation. Hopefully everybody is having a great week and you're enjoying the show so far. Yeah. We only have 20 minutes left in the show, so you do have time to call in and weigh in on our topic tonight. We're talking about doormats and codependency and toxic relationships. So if you want to call in and weigh in, you can call us 516-418-5603. Again, that's 516-418-5603. We do come to you every Wednesday for your midweek motivation here on Blog Talk Radio. We also stream live from Restream, which also connects you to Facebook as well as YouTube. And you can also check us out on iHeartRadio. Definitely like us, subscribe, and follow us. And if you have a comment, leave a comment. We love to hear from you. And also, those of you who are on live stream with us, stick around after the show. As you know, after we end our Blog Talk segment, we do have an after show on video for you guys. So stick around for about 30 more minutes. And
at this time, I won't cut it off this week, I promise.
Yes, George, cut you guys off. Okay, that will happen this week.
No, you missed it, me. Last week we was telling everybody, yeah, go ahead, stick around. We had about a bunch of people. We was like, go ahead, stick around. We're gonna have an extra show after everything's over with. As soon as Blog Talk, and I hit the button, it was done. Everything's done. They were like, damn, where the video at? I got about 15 messages. Like, damn, I thought you said you was gonna keep going. I was like, my bad.
Oh my God.
I wanted to reach through the computer and strangle him, like literally. This is about to get ugly. It was. All right. So next up, I have a song, of course. And this one is one of my favorites if I can find it, because for some reason it's not. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
No,
But we could always talk some more. We could talk some more.
Right.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, wait for her to find the song.
Oh, there you go. The song is on. The song is on.
She don't start looking for the song until she's ready to play one.
I found it. All right, this one, I'm taking you guys way back on this one. Let's see if you remember this one. This is J-Lo featuring LL Cool J.
Hey.
Oh Lord.
Like this, I don't believe I just had my last real kiss. I do believe we'll laugh and reminisce. Wait a minute, don't bounce, baby. Let's talk this, man.
Well, I'm bouncing and I'm outside. I gotta leave you alone. Cause I'm good, holding down my and I'm good. Repping the girls on the block and I'm good. I got this thing a lot, so without me you'll be fine, right? On my side, it's all I have.
Pride is what you had, baby girl. I'm what you have.
You'll be needing me, but too bad.
Be easy, don't make decisions when you're mad.
The path you chose to run alone.
I know you're independent, you can make it on your own.
Here with me, home.
But time is of the essence, why stay alone, huh?
Some nights I waited up for you.
Oh boy.
Promises you made about coming through. So much time you wasted. Why you had to say
It makes a cat nervous, the thought of settle down. Especially me, I was creeping all over town. Thought my tender touch could lock you down. I knew I had you, cocky as it sounds. The way you used to giggle right before I put it down. Better angry, come in, I'll prove it now. Come in.
stop playing. You gave in. I gotta leave you alone. I'm good. Holding down my spot and I'm good. Repping the girls on the block and I'm good. I got this thing on lock, so without me you'll be fine.
Here we go.
Right? On my side, I have.
Pride is what you had, baby, what you have.
You'll be needing me, but too bad.
Be easy, don't make decisions when you're mad.
Path you chose to run alone.
I know you're independent, you can make it on your own.
Here with me at home.
But time is of the essence, why stay it alone, huh? People make mistakes to make up, to break up, to wake up, cold and lonely. Chill, baby, you know me, you love me, I'm like your homie. Instead of beefing, come hold me, I promise I'm not a phony. Don't bounce, baby, console me, come
Ain't
in.
nothing you can say to me that can change my mind. I gotta let you go now, and nothing will ever be the same. So just be on your way. Go ahead and do your thing now. And there's no more to explain to me, you know. I know you gave up the feeling what you do. So I'm bouncing and I'm outdone. I gotta leave you alone. Yeah. My pride is all I have.
Pride is what you had, baby girl, I'm what you have.
You'll be needing me, but too bad.
Be easy, don't make decisions when you're mad.
The path you chose to run alone.
I know you're independent, you can make it on your own.
Here with me at home.
But time is of the essence, why stay it alone, huh?
On my side is all I have.
Pride is what you had, baby girl, I'm what you have.
You be needing me, but too bad.
Be easy, don't make decisions when you're mad.
The path you chose to run alone.
I know you're independent, you can make it on your own.
Here with me at home.
But time is of the essence, why stay it alone, huh?
All right. And that definitely goes for topic this tonight. That was a woman set up Yeah. He was fed up. He was like, okay. He was like, okay, I'm done. So,
You know what?
and
You
the
can
woman
tell
fed
when
up.
a nigga being engineered by a woman. Cause I ain't heard nothing on the dude side yet. I ain't heard nothing on the men's side yet. When can we, I mean, we just like the bastard child. Raj, bastard child up in here or something. You know what I mean? It's all our fault.
Mimi showed up tonight because he was in some trouble.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I came up in here and showed her all my shit like we got this.
That's right.
It was a setup.
That's right.
Rob, we got set up.
Listen, I'm just being generous.
That's right. This is
your gift from me to you. I'm gonna let y'all get your shit off because it's coming down.
No.
Really?
No.
You have to be a doormat.
I'm about to show you what I think about money today. I'm about to show you what I'm thinking about. Excuse me to those of you on iHeartRadio and Blog Talk because you're not gonna be able to see what I'm about to do, but they gonna definitely see what I'm doing right now.
Oh Lord.
Well, if you don't believe
What?
Oh my God.
Look.
Let's say get the cruises and the crashes.
Right.
Beautiful ocean.
Yes.
And Father's Day they get some bullshit me with
It's a TV dinner. It's a TV dinner. It's a TV dinner.
That's right.
Look, Mother's Day, we got the champagne and the ocean and the crab and you know what I'm saying? Mother's Day, with TV.
That's right. Damn right.
Look, that's some bullshit. All I'm gonna say about that is that maybe my sister and I need to come shit and send somebody over to the George house so they can really lock some shit. I'm saying shitting on the
Let's send his ass a lobster pizza.
Look, you know what I need? You know what I need? I need somebody to recognize this. And just for the people on our radio and Blog Talk, I'm gonna need one of the ladies to read this. But I'm about to show. I'm gonna need one of the ladies to read it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and read the shit. So I might not really understand it or whatever. But anyway, happy wife, happy life is destroying many marriages. It's happy spouse, happy house, because a good marriage consists of two happy people. Well, you better have some good dick, good money.
There you go.
Good appearance. We still on your ass for you, and you gonna have a good Mother's Day like some lobster and some beef.
You don't say all that extra shit at the end of it. I know you ready, but you don't say all that extra shit you put at the end of it. You don't say nothing about that.
Exactly.
Hey, fuck that.
Look, you've been doing good all night over there with your red shirt and your water. Don't get caught up in the George mix.
Let me tell you something, please. Oh shit, brother, about me. You know what I mean? I was raised by women. I was raised by women.
Yes, let's go. George, I don't know what you want. Smoke your cigarette and have your silver drink. Let's go.
Yeah, George is last.
The last 13 minutes of the show, we're about to party like it's 1999 up in this bitch right here.
I started early, so
Mama, you might need some Prince or some Apollonius. Give me some Prince or some Apollonia or some shit. Tonight we on some other shit. We're not going to be the doormat. We're not going to be the doormat.
We will not be the doormat.
Not over here. Not in all these squares.
Oh my God.
What is
YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Facebook. All we're going to do is show some love. We're not going to be doormats. We're going to be some powerful business people up in this biatch last 11 minutes of this night. Let us know you're feeling, what you're thinking is on.
Hey, you tell us how you feel, girl, and then when you're done, go make.
Well, I have another song for you guys.
Hey,
let's go, baby.
This is what we do. My ex-wife gonna text me and tell me to quit smoking.
Wait. Hold on. Go ahead, George. What's up?
That's what I said. My ex-wife gonna text me and tell me to quit smoking. Don't nobody give a damn because you watching.
And
this is the thing. Because George said that he tolerated no type of shit, all A.M.M. Now we got the ex-wife in and checking out the smoke and all that. Mama Cita, we need you to go ahead and call in and let us know. Give us some juice. We got 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes.
She ain't got no juice.
For real. We need all the tea. We need all the tea. We need to know.
Let's go.
She know the number. I already texted to her.
We need all the tea. Or tell her to get in the chat for the after show. Shoot, we need to know.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for chiming in. Let us know how we looking and let us know how we sounded. Mama, we loving you dearly. And because at the end of the day, all love is good love over here at CB and the Boys with Minnie Acosta in the building. And play that music, Mama.
All right. Here we go. Love. Oh, my Lord.
Hey.
My God, right here.
I got a good one after that, too. This one's about George.
You think I'm so full of it.
Ain't that a bitch?
I think I'm just better, baby. You think I can be so arrogant, but I'm just trying to keep my head up, baby. You think I procrastinate, maybe, but I think I'm taking mine. You think you need to leave, but I think I disagree. But if you believe you'll do best without me, I'll let it go, girl. It's over. But before we say goodbye, let's give it a try. If you leave, then baby I'll leave. I'll let it go, girl. It's over. But I have no doubt we can work it out. See, you're so full of it. You just don't know when to let up, baby. I think you're so arrogant. Think you're so much better, baby, that I think it ain't healthy for me to judge you by your flaws, and that's why I know I could criticize, but I put that aside to focus on you and I. You'll do that without me. But before we say goodbye, let's give it a try. If you leave, baby, I'll leave. I'll let it go. It's over, but I have no doubt. Work it out, yeah. Now if you wanna go, baby, then I'll let you go. And even though I'm trying to hold on, I can't
Now, in this song, both of them are mutual, like, okay, if you leave, then I'll leave. Neither one of them wants to let go. So would you say that's toxic or not toxic?
No, that's not toxic. That's respecting one another's decision as to, you know what, this ain't going to work. You leave, I leave, we good. Deuces, go with God. I pray for you, you pray for me.
You heard the but too. But if you want it to be, they're both saying, look, I don't want that. But if that's what it is, that case got to be. So it's almost like backhand. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to be straight. This is not what I want, but I said, you know, if that's where we got to go, we got to go. So I think you're right, but I think that's the proverbial equally yoked. Like, we're both capable, apart, we're good together. And I think that's why that song, you know, hits so different. Because it's not, oh, you suck for doing me wrong, or she sucks for doing me wrong. It was like, look, you got problems, clearly. You're not perfect, neither am I. But, you know, we can keep our imperfect asses together, or we can go our separate ways and do all right. And I, you know, I think that's probably most, I like that. It's pretty accurate.
So this next song is dedicated to George. Here you go, George.
Ain't that a bitch? Don't make me cut you off. I will mute this shit when nobody hears it.
I met him
You might be
hanging out one night. He said, hello, I'm George. Hi, life. How's everything going, huh? How you doing? Hope everything's fine. Ooh, and can I call you sometime? Can I get the digit and the address so I can come visit? I gave him the digit. That wasn't a problem. Because if he caused any, I was to solve him. Because George looked good. Damn good. And if I didn't, some other good would. In my mind, I hope for the best. Think to myself that this was not a test. Because I heard many things about Georgie. Nothing kinky, like no orgies. I heard he knows how to make a love. Like an angel from the heaven above. Who was I kidding? I'd give him a try. This life needs love too, and that ain't no lie. Keep your ears open. Hope that you listen, because I'm about to take you on a Georgie mission. I gave him the number, I saw it in his eyes. She gave me the number, I'm surprised. Good conversation over the phone. He began to comfort me whenever I was alone. George was so nice and so neat. With any other guy, he didn't have to. George was mature. He made sure that he was the only man I'd ever adore. Girls, have you ever had a friend that you get with? Every now and then, I know for a fact George had a lot of girls spread out from state to state around the world. As long as he was starting to get the girls in check, sure I never saw them and showed me respect. He didn't have to be loyal like men should be. I don't care about the other girls, just be good to
90 seconds.
But if I ever saw one, that would be the end. He couldn't get the storyline if she was just a friend. The girls, I didn't care if I don't lie. Because Georgie was used to making young girls cry.
60 seconds.
No drugs and such, but once in a while he drinks too much. Hanging in the club where they play rockers, him and his friend drinking vodka. I was exploring and I found him there with his clothes messed up and his up hair. I told him he was messing up, he wouldn't go far. I mad at his friend for the keys to the car. I said don't drive, use your head. Drive while you're drunk and you kill yourself dead. He began to argue, bad words were said. Then he got kicked out by some long dread. Ran into the car as if in a hurry. He started the car, but his vision was blurry. He didn't care, he drove off into the night, riding for miles without his headlights. Georgie Porgy had too much on his mind. He was still young, yet running out of time. The test and the doctor told him George had cancer in his lungs.
10 seconds.
When he was 12, he started smoking. Paid no attention when he started looking. Thoughts flashed through his head, there they stuck. So Georgie Porgy crashed into a truck. I wish I would have told him how I liked him so much. How he made me feel with the slightest touch. Now he's gone and I can't help him. Wish he was here so I could accept him. Sorry
You know what? We don't switch it around.
Only if you knew. Only if you knew. If walls could talk, that's all I can say.
I kiss the girls and make them cry.
That's a
They
classic.
didn't cry. They didn't cry because George was a bored. They just cried because George wouldn't give them more.
Oh, wow. Well, okay then.
Very good. How about them Chiefs? Woo!
Chiefs.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Well, everyone say goodbye to Blog Talk audience as well as our iHeart audience. And those of you who are watching us live, stick around for the after show. There's a lot of treats for you and some interesting convo. So
You've been listening to CB. You've been listening to CB Voice. Thank you for joining me tonight. You guys go ahead and say your goodbyes. Say your goodbyes. And I'll play the song.
We're out here.
Don't everyone speak all at once. Don't everyone speak all at once.
One love. God bless to everybody. Thank you guys once again for having me. You know, I have fun every time I get on this show. It's all laugh. It's all good. It's all whatever it's going to be. And it is that. So you can find Mimi Acosta at MIA Entertainment Group all out on IG. Okay, at MIA Entertainment Group on IG. Okay, one love.
Yeah. All right.
Real, glad everybody got here. Love to have him back with us. Anyway, take care of yourselves. I'm out.
Well, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna keep it sweet. As usual, every week I end with the same thing. Famous words of Don Cornelius
himself.
Peace, love, and hair grease.
Love it.
All right. All right, everyone for rocking out with us tonight for CBM Wednesday. Every week motivation here on Motivator. You can also find us streaming live on Facebook. And those channels, please stick around. Those channels have an after show. For those of you on Blog Talk, also our radio app. Like us and subscribe. Like everyone. Like us, subscribe. We need to follow us. Our likes and our subscribers. We need to raise subscribers. We need numbers. Help us. We're looking forward to that. And also once again, all the mothers to take us home. To take the spinners and babies. Get all the mothers out. All the mothers next week. Bye-bye. Take care of yourself. And take care of yourself. And take care of others. Loving ones. Love yourself. How do you love yourself? How do you respect others? To let someone else out. So here is Sadie. Song.
In a world like today, it's a rare occasion to be able to see young mothers like the ones that were around when I grew up. But they live on in memory to quite a few of us. And this song is dedicated to those who cherish that memory. Early one Sunday morning, breakfast was on the table. There was no time to eat. She said to me, boy, hurry to Sunday school, filled with a Lord of glory. We learned the holy story. She'll always have her dream, despite the things this troubled world only will turn your life around. Sweeter than cotton candy, stronger than Papa's candy. Always that needed smile. Once in a while, she would break down and cry. Sometimes she'd be so happy, sing with us and Daddy, standing the worst of time, breaking the bind with just a simple song. Oh, Lady May, still loving us all in yourself away. Well, well, well. Living in the past. Oh, she's never sinning. In love, she's always winning. Yeah. My, 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 my. I love you, girl. I just can't forget how you gave me love. Oh, if there's a heaven up above, I know she's teaching angels how to love. It's a big world without you. On the love you show. Oh, has it anyone ever down to love the world? Ain't it funny, funny?
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
All right. Everyone that has around and hopefully you enjoy. Now it is time for this. This is everyone. Everyone can hear us, and everyone that is interactive show. Don't forget to turn your mic off. Is there feedback?
Hey, me. It might have been. I just put my headphones, so it should be gone.
We hear text message, and like you.
No, that you don't hear.
Try to blame me for everything. All right. So really good topic right now. Wait, was on. What is the deal?
What's up? What?
We have feedback.
We live even in the code. I guess you got feedback on your end. They don't mind. So I don't know what to tell you.
It's not on.
I don't hear anything.
Not on my end. Okay. Is it my turn to speak? Because I didn't know you hear me. To remind me.
Can you guys hear me once or twice? Like feeding myself back. I hear myself when I'm speaking.
No.
George. Remember George? Something.
No, it's not.
Well, you forgot to do the last time.
I forgot to do what?
Where'd Roger go? Where'd Roger go?
Oops.
We lost Roger.
No.
Right.
But we raised a really good topic tonight. So who was the feedback? That you.
Okay. Oh wow. So Crystal, you sound really perfect right now.
Exactly.
And I'm not hearing
George
myself.
did something.
George sounds real good.
George.
I did something.
So Crystal, can you hear George really good on just like one shot right now?
Yeah, Roger left and all the shit disappeared. Now all of a sudden, it's George's fault.
No, this sounds real good right now.
Absolutely,
it sounds great.
Absolutely.
It sounds really great.
I'm just texting.
So, George, are you scared? Because it's 2 against 1 right now.
I wouldn't give a damn.
I
can handle myself.
We've been drinking. We've been drinking.
We've been drinking. We've been drinking.
Yeah, he has to up.
But it's all good. Our brother dropped off, and he might have been the reason for all the feedback. I'm just saying. Where he at?
Yeah. Probably going to bed. He got to go to work in the morning.
Oh, so maybe that's 1 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, he's filming in Kansas City right now, so they probably had something to shoot in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But the topic tonight was a really.
If you look down, it's right there in the chat, in our little private chat that can't nobody else know about.
Right.
I've been up long enough. Love y'all.
Cool. Right.
Recap me tomorrow.
That's it. That's
what's up. Yeah. He burned out.
But the topic tonight, the topic tonight was really good. I think it was really good. We got a lot of really good points. I think number one, are you George?
Huh?
Are you playing?
Oh, you can hear that? Hold on.
Yes, we can hear it. We can hear it. It's so live. Is anybody hearing that but us three, or everybody hearing that?
Everybody hearing that.
Oh shit! Turn your shit down, George.
You've been in to watch George mess up. Poor Georgie Porgy.
You got to save your shit. You got to save it and make sure you share it with the sisters if you're messing up over there.
No.
No.
Shit.
So this is the after effect that shows up on what?
What do you think?
On what platform?
The after show. We do an after show now for those watching us live, and then also it gives a chance for people on Bigo to engage and be in on the topic, because they can't hear right now what's going on the show. We haven't quite perfected that yet, so this is a chance to give them a chance to engage. So in your guys' opinion, what do you think is the motivation for a woman or for anyone to stay in a toxic relationship? Because there are many women who have the opportunity to leave and they just don't. So what do you think is fear? But maybe more than just fear. What do you think?
Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's finances. Sometimes it's the situation that they allow themselves to be in for many years. And hopefully, sometimes when there are kids involved, then you got the women that are like, you know what, let me just wait until my child reaches, college, or when they leave the house, or because they don't want to be looked at as a failure, or we went from a double home to now a single home and I got to be single mom. And share this information with the kids about the father being a loser, and it becomes all sorts of shit, but I'm going to speak for me. When I decided that I'm going to walk, I made sure that my daughter always knew, you're the shit, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, daddy has a different plan, it's okay, daddy gonna be in your life. And I literally went the extra mile to force him to be in her life until she became of age, and you talking about 18, to realize he ain't never been shit, and all I did is candy coat it. And at the end of the day, whether we candy coat or not, we're always to blame, because it's like my daughter today is like, mommy, you didn't have to do that. You could have told me. And it's like, no, because what I didn't want is what I had for myself growing up. Like, your daddy ain't shit. And then I find out when I'm like 21 that my daddy was all the shit. Like, he was the pilot. He made sure we were taken care of, all this stuff, but we were told different. So, I wasn't trying to repeat that cycle. And I was like, no matter what, I'm going to always make sure that you look like the good guy until you show something different. And when she finds out, I feel sorry for you. And of course, that happened and she cut him off, but it had nothing to do with me. So it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But, it's either you cut it off because it's the best thing for yourself and you want to make sure that your kids are growing up being happy and not experiencing the fights, the arguments, the abuse. You don't want no child going to school having to mask, with the reality of home, and then having to go to school smiling and trying to do work and trying to keep A's, because at the end of the day, you got the parents that are like, you need to bring home straight A's, or you need to make sure you don't fail, or you need to make sure. And the kids are now experiencing that pressure of, I got to make sure that I have good grades, but I still got to go home to this bullshit. Like, now we're not doing that. What we are going to do is we're going to make sure that our kids are okay no matter what, which that means get the fuck away from the situation and make sure that the kids are straight, because that is the future. Yeah. I'll have a drink on that one.
Right.
Hey, look.
Totally agree. That once you're going to tell them that
they're
not shit, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. So would you say that a lot of bitterness can really ruin a relationship between a child and another parent, or the absent parent?
Yeah, of course. Because if I'm being told as a baby, your daddy ain't shit, your daddy ain't shit. Okay, daddy left. Mommy is now raising this child. And the child is being told, your daddy ain't shit, he ain't taking care of you, he ain't nothing, he ain't giving. And you got Christmas, birthday, all this shit coming, going all these years. And daddy trying to do, but mama is stopping that shit from happening. Then, it becomes crazy later when the child finds out, oh my God, my dad did this all these years. Like, my experience was that my dad did that. He was a pilot. He was doing the damn thing. He wasn't no good coming in the picture, but he did. And she decided on her own, okay, I'm going to have 4 kids for this man. And she had 4, actually she had 5 of us. The first one didn't survive. She had a stillbirth, but she had 5 kids for this man that she knew coming in the picture, he ain't shit, because she home wrecked his previous situation. So she home wrecked that. He came here, gave her 5, and then moved on. You already know he ain't shit. This is the thing. He's taking care of his kids. So you don't go to the kids going, your daddy ain't shit, he did this, Nah, you broke up some shit earlier, which means karma. And you have to be able to live up to your truth. And if you don't, it's going to be somebody like me, because there's going to always be that one child that's going to be like, wait a minute. He was happy over here because now I have an older sister that's like, I don't need to talk to y'all because your mama did this shit to my mama. Well, look, bitch, fuck you, because we ain't had no issues in that. We are the kids in the middle of this shit. And we're just trying to make sure that we're trying to, we want to make sure that you are a part of us moving forward, that if something happened, you're not alone. But since you feel that way, because my mother did some shit to your mother, but it becomes that ugly thing that if it's not corrected, like from the get-go, then you're going to have generations of the bullshit. And I was like, I'm not going to do that to my daughter. I I'm going to tell you something. I didn't give a shit if her father put me across the fucking Miami Beach Bridge on a bungee rope and had hung my ass to freaking sink. I would have never talked nasty about him until she found out for herself how much no shit he is.
Yeah, that's what I did with the twins.
I didn't want the cycle to continue. I just wanted her to find out for herself. Like, I'm not, I'm going to candy coat this shit. And when she was like 7 years old, she caught me in the shit. She was like, Mommy, I'm the only person that, that puts a dot up on top of the eyes. Like anything that's I put a whole circle on top of it. And she's like, Mommy, that's your handwriting on that box. Like, you wrote that. And she was like, you don't have to do that, Mommy. You sent me that. My daddy don't write like that. And that made me feel so bad. Like, holy shit. When we think that we're doing things to protect our kids, the kids already know.
Yes. Yeah.
And that becomes the sad part, because it's like, you know what, baby, you're right. I'm not going to do that anymore. And, we'll just contact your daddy and let him do whatever he's doing with you. And moving forward, I was like, dude, if you don't do what the fuck you got to do for yourself with this child, you're going to lose her. Mm-hmm. And now, since her, you've got two more that you're doing bullshit with. And she's still like, you know what, Mom, he ain't shit, but you still my mom. It's you and I, but she's 30 years old and she knows that for herself now. But what about the other little ones? You still have like one that's like 3 years old and another one that's like 12 years old. And she still, she keeps in touch, and she's like, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, just hang out with dad, tell him what's up. Like, she does what I did with her with them. It's so sad to watch. But at the end of the day, she's like, Mommy, they're going to find out for themselves one day. And I don't want to be the one. And you're not going to be the one to do that to them, because that's the second and that third family. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, we're not shitting on daddies. We're not shitting on situations, because situations will really flourish all on their own. We can't do nothing about that.
Well, to double back, so suppose the scenario changes, whereas you're in a relationship with someone, but your best friend steals your man. Can you come back from that? Is there a way to mend that friendship? What do you think?
That's not gonna happen. Ain't no fucking friendship, because that means that at the end of the day, she was watching him, he was watching her. They decided to do their own shit, and they both gotta go. There's no, absolutely no mending, because both of them were on some shit. And I would be perfectly fine with that. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's a friend that I grew up with from kindergarten, and he's somebody I've been with forever. If I'm crossed on some friendship, relationship type shit, everybody got to go. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, it's about my peace of mind. I don't give a fuck about nobody else's feelings, because at the end of the day, they didn't give a fuck about my feelings.
Sure.
They were being selfish in their own shit. So my thing is, fuck you. Don't call me, lose my phone, and I block them from all my shit. You can't even send me an email or a Cash App. Just saying. George, what you got to say?
I agree.
No, I'm just saying, but right. That's it. Everybody gets cut off. Don't mess with me. Yeah. It's a complete cut off.
Fuck it, cut them off. Let me
tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is what I'm gonna say. Life is extremely short. Mm-hmm. We tend to box ourselves around the people we know, we've grown with, we've learned to know, all this bullshit. It's billions of people on the fucking planet. Do you think that I'm going to really sit back and be like, oh my God, he did this to me, I can't believe it? Fuck that. It's billions of motherfuckers out there that are gonna be like, oh shit, he fucked up. Can I stand in line? Can I? So no. And it works both ways, with men and with women. We got billions of people on earth. I can go in any dating app right now if I choose not to go to a club and meet people, or go to places and meet people, or go to a grocery store and run into somebody, or be a fucking Uber driver that I run into and be like, oh shit, he the shit. Not because he an Uber driver. He might be an Uber driver today, but he might have 5 businesses and he just feel like he bored and he want to go make some extra money. What? So at the end of the day, nobody is discredited. If I'm happy with that individual, I don't give a fuck if he cleaning toilets in a building. I'd be like, baby, this is what you're doing for that man over there. Let's create a fucking LLC. Let's do this shit big. Let's go get the contract.
Okay.
I'm that. So at the end of the day, I make what I want for myself and whoever comes my way. So I'm not gonna sit and be like, oh my God, I can't believe he did this. But bye. Because there's somebody over there at the club where I used to go to that I could be like, yo, what's up, babe? Keepitmoving.com. Keepitmoving.com. Make yourself happy, because at the end of the day, you got folks that are going 6 feet under because they done got a heart attack over some bitch that wasn't worth it.
Real talk.
George M, light it up. Let me see that smoke up in the air, because somebody done said you need to not be smoking. You smoking out there.
Smoking like a motherfucker. Smoking like a freight train.
I drink, and then my sister over there asking the questions that we gonna answer. I'm just saying, it's a lit show tonight. Stop playing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's been a great show. So
yes.
Okay. So in life, there are choices. I think we're all in agreement with that. Everything in life is a choice. You can choose to do this or you can choose to do that. But if you choose to do this, you have to live with the consequences, as opposed to if you would have done that. There's consequences in everything, some good consequences and some not so good consequences. So in the realm of a doormat, what do you think is a doormat's breaking point to where they're like, you know what, I'm not going to be a doormat anymore? Like the last scenario where the best friend steals the man or the husband or whatever, or the partner. Some women, especially those that are doormats, would accept it. So there's this show that is on called Sister Wives, and basically it's about a man who decides that he wants to have a bunch of women, and he marries a bunch of women, and it's legal in their state. And these women have to deal with watching their husband marry another woman and another woman and another woman and have all these kids. Now, in that sister wife situation, do you think if you really loved the guy and he was all this in a bag of chips, would you conform to his belief or his, as he calls it, his religion? So would you conform to this religion and be part of the sister wives?
No. And the reason why I say that is because I'm very greedy about the person I'm with. So you're going to work all day. You're going to come home. You're going to take a shower. You're going to get something to eat. You're going to watch some TV. You're going to lay your ass down. You're going to get a break. And then I'm going to clock your shit, because there's going to be a certain hour at the middle of the night at 2 in the morning when you're going to roll over and you're going to be like, I want some of this. Same thing for a woman. And I'm keeping this shit so damn real.
Really?
That's true.
So all I'm trying to say is, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get all kind of shit out of me, right? That you probably would have never, ever imagined getting from all the fuck.
Right.
Oh, Lord. She done froze up.
Same question. Same question to you, George. What would you do if Cole came and said, you know what? I think I should have a brother husband.
Because I give everything. I'm a spoiler. I'm a protector. I'm a lover. I take care of your kids. I make your kids straight. I make sure your ex-wife is straight. I am that chick. So because I am that, I might be okay with being by myself for fucking 10 years until I meet the next motherfucker, because I know I know my worth. And I exude that. So my thing is, I'm not gonna be in no position where it's not gonna take you no fucking 5, 6, 7, 3, 4 women to do some shit that you want.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's some sick shit. And you know what? Look, I've never read the Bible from cover to cover to know where it says in the Bible this is the way it should or shouldn't be. My thing is, it's not about that. It's about my spirit. It's about what I'm feeling, because God lives within us in different ways. And not every opportunity is for an individual. One person might be here just to clean houses. One person might be here just to be a lover. Another person might be here just to drink some fucking wine. Another person might be here to conduct a certain type of business. Another person, all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I'm not going to sell myself short to nobody for no reason, because I know my worth and I know what I can do. And the fact that I can do everything all and then some, you're gonna be so out of it. You don't have the attention span to give to somebody else. Because I'm gonna make sure all your homeboys are out of your body. The boys and the girls. Ain't nothing. Whether we want kids or not, all them homeboys are out of your body. You're gonna be so weak, you don't have the attention to give to somebody else. They're gonna be like, his shit is weak. Nah, bitch, I took all that shit. You're weak. You can't take it.
I love it.
You know, I'm just saying, you know, that right there, that's a different type of thing that has been made up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then again, it becomes that what is made up, because, you know, the Bible has all these different, you know, verses, all these different chapters, all these different, you know, it goes from King James to the first to the this to the that. King James, he was gay. He was taking some shit up his booty.
Wow.
So all I'm saying is, it's a lot of shit in the Bible, you know what I'm saying, that's coming out today that we can't judge on. I'm not trying to judge. That's why I don't judge people. I don't judge the sexuality. If it's going to be man on man, woman on woman, this and that and this and transgender and all this shit, LGBTQ, all it. I'm not judging people for where they want to be, who they are, who they want to sleep with, who they want to be with. My thing is, I go as far as who I am, what I tolerate, what I'm going to deal with. And I'm not going to deal with somebody who's going to have 5 different relationships.
Right.
Because you can't get enough where? You can't get enough over here? Tell me what I need to do, pimping.
Right.
What's she doing for you over there that I can't do over here? Because I'm telling you now, by the time I'm done with you, you ain't moving.
But you know, they say what one woman will and what one woman won't, another woman will.
And that be the problem. So I always come up with the one person that's like, oh my God, all these people would have never done this. But it comes with some shit, because at the end of the day, they got their own shit that they're dealing with on top of what somebody has never done for them. So I might be the chick that do everything. Oh my God, she ain't jealous. She ain't this. She ain't hawking me. She ain't calling me 24/7. She ain't stalking me. She this, she that. I get all the sex I want. She does everything I want just the way I want it. And then it becomes the insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to work for 7 hours, she's in a hotel room on a computer. What the fuck is she doing? And then they start going crazy. Babe, what you did all day? Okay, well, I did this, and this. And at the end of the day, if I'm the one that's putting out and taking care of shit, what you worried about? Because I ain't asking you for shit.
Exactly.
My roof is taken care of. You're just a part of it. Because we're not married. We ain't doing all that. But I'm going to make sure that you come to me all day, every day. Because we're working towards some shit. But if you feel insecure about some shit because you're at work all day, because you gotta get up, you gotta get in your truck, and you gotta go to work. I'm on my computer working and making my money. Don't clock my shit because we ain't married.
Right.
And even if you gotta clock it, I have justification as to where everything is coming from. And I'm gonna show you in my bank accounts, baby, this is where everything's coming from. What are you worried about? Because you got me. But because you're insecure, you're broken, your ex-wife done did some shit to you, you're going through all kinds of shit. Then here comes the little chick that's like, oh God, I gotta deal with the insecure man. No, I ain't dealing with nothing insecure. Bye. So 5, 6, 7 women, that ain't gonna happen. And what's gonna happen after me is that you're gonna need all types of women to justify this one. Like shit. Now I need to go counseling. I need to fix my shit because I need my woman back. You know, but no, I ain't doing all that personalities because at the end of the day, you got all kinds of liquids. All these women, you don't know where they've been at. You don't know who they are. Now I'm trying to do you, and all I'm thinking on is, oh my God, you got 5 other women whose body fluids you fucking with. And we don't know where they've been. So now you sleeping with, if a woman done slept with 7 men in the last year,
man,
you done slept with 35, 50, 100, 1,000 motherfuckers. So now I don't sleep with everybody, and I'm allowing all those spirits in my spirit, which people gonna be like, oh my God, Mimi ain't never been that type of person, but she acting crazy. Yeah, because you don't promoted and injected all these bitches spirits into my shit. And you want to know why she acting crazy? She acting crazy because you brought some other shit into me. So my thing is, you got to go, because I need my peace of mind all the way.
Right.
Yeah. George, George.
Yes.
You over there on your cell phone entertaining some shit.
I'm over here on my cell phone listening to you.
Okay.
Talk about your shit.
Listen to me.
Hey, you've been going through some things, it sounds like.
No, I ain't been through some things. Somebody else been through some things. And I had to give the reality check, and now I'm good.
I know.
I'm good. I ain't Jenny from the block. I'm not Jenny from the block, but I understand some of those words she be saying. You know what I'm saying?
All I can say is that motherfucker lost his goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He'll be all right.
That's all I can say.
He'll be okay. And it's, you know, and
I'm
it's
gonna
all
leave it right there.
It's his loss. He's a fool. It's
10 times. 10 times.
Agreed.
And it becomes that, but you know, but it's okay, because my thing is, God has a way of showing us stuff when we pray about stuff. Whether we pray it on us or off us, you know, we just have to be able to, like, you know what, God, you're right. Let me just do what I got to do, because at the end of the day, I can't fix everything. I can't fix everyone. But if you come to me and you say, look, babe, I got a situation, I got some problems, I got some insecurities, I got some shit, let's go to counseling. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna roll with you. But if you're trying to act all macho and, you know, you got it and I'm good and fuck this and I'm gonna just leave and I'm gonna find me somebody, no, you're not gonna find nobody ever like me.
Right.
But please, by all means, go ahead. And then I'm going to the ice machine and I'm bumping into your ass because you done decided that you're gonna check out of here, but you're gonna go 2 doors down.
What? Wow.
That sounds like some freaky shit, because at the end of the day, don't let me get somebody up in this bitch that rocking this world and you got to hear it through the wall, because I'll give you something to listen.
I know that's right.
I'll give you some shit to listen to, George.
You stupid.
Ew, you'll be listening to some shit that the other people be listening to and you are over here. You'll be the victim of circumstance, because I'm telling you now, I'm going to have my party.
I know that's right. As well you should. They say the best way to get over one man is to get under another one. So hell.
I'm just saying, look, I'm just saying, and this is the thing, because I came with this memo. I came with the memo that I am 50 years old. And there's some things that I'm not going to tolerate no more moving forward in my life. I don't give a fuck what it is. At 0.5%, you got to go. Because I'm not going to wait for 1%, 2%, 3%, 10%. We ain't doing that. I'm a grown woman with grown kids and have situations all around me that I'm a part of. So you know what that means? And got a lot of business happening. So do you know what that means? You're going to either fucking rock with me or you're going to rock the fuck away from me because you don't have an option. You in or you out. What you going to be? Because there's no in between. I don't have a gray area. There's no gray areas here. You in or you out. What? And whether you are a man or whether you're a woman, you got to put that boundary on because when you know that you are the shit, right? And you are the provider and you're the protector and you're the lover and you're the giver and you're the everything, then guess what? There is somebody out there that God has for you. Because the person that you're fighting for might not be the individual for you. You might have been, that person might have been put in your path so you can help them this much. Because they might be going a little bit from here, a little bit from here, a little bit from here, a little bit from here. And you might be that chick that might be all the way to the bottom of the pile, like, oh my God, you were only meant to do this much for him. But when you know your worth, then you can let it go and move on with your life because God has something else for you. You don't know what it is, but if you put all your shit and all your fate and all your buckets and all your chances in God's plate, guess what's going to happen? It's going to come through eventually. You just got to trust it and move on. So my thing is I'm trusting God's shit because he's within me. He already know what I'm going through. And that's when I talk to God with all kind of curse words and all kinds of shit because at the end of the day, he's within me and he knows my heart.
Right.
He knows I'm a good person. He knows I'm going to go above and beyond. He knows I'm going to do all I got to do. But it ain't about somebody else's timing. It's about my timing and God's timing. And it's what is it going to be? You going to rock with me or you not?
Right.
We're not doing this. We're not doing no 5 people, 10 people, 15 people, all kind of freaking, and you got females out there don't even take care of themselves. And then you want to come back to me?
Mm-mm.
You better take that shit on.
Can't have that.
No. And I know me. So do you know what that means? I know that I am doing you from your head to the crest of your feet. But now you got some female that I got to worry about. Oh my God, you came from over there? Bye.
Nah. Life is too short.
Deuces, George. That's how we do it. there's a slogan right here. Bye.
That's how you can do. Be like, deuces.
I'm just saying, we're not doing that. We're not doing the crazy shit. You know, the crazy shit might be nice for thought. Some crazy shit is nice for thought.
Do it like this.
Let's go, Papa. Let's go. Oh my God, it's like glass number 5. I already gone through. See, I already damn near killed the bottle.
This is like bottle number 4.
I got about 5 inches to the bottle. That's tomorrow. But I left out of here. Look, I left out of here an hour before the show. I was like, wait a minute, because my brother's coming with their shit. I'm gonna get my shit. I was like, Uber. Let's go to Walmart like quick. Let me get my bottle because I'm gonna tell you now. My brother's coming with this shit. I gotta come with my shit. My sister, what?
You know what? Yeah, tonight was an excellent show. Now, George, I wanted to know, so if Nicole came to you and said that she wanted to bring somebody else into your marriage, what would your reaction be?
Let me answer that.
Male or female?
You said male or female?
Yes, I'm biased. Yes, I'm biased.
A male.
Oh my God. So who? Oh, male.
Oh, well, shit. You better pick one or the other. I ain't the one.
All right, what about a female?
What if it's a female? You gotta have requirements.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I know her. I know her type.
Okay, and you know what?
So it's a female. I'm all good.
Okay, so let's talk about that right quick because this is another.
Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. I'm through riding the bench. Put me in, coach.
But George, this is the thing. This is what you got to think about. What if it's some female that is so, she looks good on the outside. It might be your female type. She might look at her, she might be like, oh my God, yes, that's her right there. But she come with some shit you don't even know she got.
What you mean?
like AIDS or some shit. That's
Oh no, I got something for that.
What?
No, I got something for that. Let me show you. Hold on, let me show you.
You know what?
Oh my Lord! Went
I
there.
can't do it right now. Okay, so let me tell you all a real life story. And this shit is literally a movie that I'm working on, but because it's all copywritten, I could talk about it. So my dad, because my dad was the shit. I love my dad dearly. May he rest in peace. All this good old stuff, right? My dad was in 3 relationships, but he married my mother. So my mother is the middle finger. So he was with, my older sister's mom, and he decided that he gonna leave her for the Catholic school chick that looked like she got all her shit together. But then eventually he done did some shit to her ass, and she done decided that she gonna quit school, move in with him, give him more kids, all type of shit because he done had her. That's my mother. Then there's the third chick that he decided, okay, you know what, I'm gonna leave her, but I'm gonna go to Puerto Rico and I'm gonna be with this one because she does all kind of shit. She got her business, she got this, she got that. My mom done quit school. So you got the admin chick that did her shit and he got a child with her. Then he came over here, had 5 with her, but she done dropped out of school, so she ain't worthy, right? And then he came to the other chick that got her own businesses. She came from Santo Domingo. She a strapping woman. He done gave her a house, gave her a child, took care of the kids, all this shit. So now you got these 3. But there's this bitch over here, the pinky finger, right? That been with him. Look. She rocked it, now George. You gotta listen to the story. She rocked it, right? With the first bitch, with the second bitch, and the third bitch. And they're all bitches just because I'm not trying to, call my mom a bitch. I'm just saying that they're all on some fuck shit, right? Yes. But then there's this one that's been there through all these relationships that ain't never went nowhere.
That's what you call the bottom bitch.
The bottom bitch.
That's what you call a doormat.
No, that's not a doormat. That's the bottom bitch. There's a difference between the doormat and the bottom bitch.
Right. This chick ain't gonna never be a doormat. What this chick did is this chick set the boundaries. I don't give a fuck who you with. But as long as you get with me when I tell you that it's time for me, you better bring your ass on. And guess what he did? He did that. So she had him hooked because it wasn't about him. It was about her. You got some good dick, and we gonna fuck, and we gonna have a great time. And what's gonna happen is that whenever I call you, you better bring your ass on. And guess what he did? Every time she called, I'm coming, baby. And she lasted all these decades with him. What he didn't know that was at some point in time, she was gonna bring some shit he wasn't ready to handle. So what happens? The third one ends up sick. She don't know why she's sick. She just sick. She eating. All her food is coming out her ass. She don't know why. Let me go to the hospital. Let me work this shit out. Let me see what's going on. She's in the hospital for 2 weeks. Doctors can't find nothing. And then one day, one of these doctors decide, let's just take an AIDS test. We didn't even take that on her. We didn't assume it because her husband is here. He's all active. They're beautiful. We know the story. But let's just take this test just because. And then she tests positive for full-blown AIDS.
Oh my
she goes from damn near 200 and something pounds, because she was a strapping Santo Domingan, beautiful, chocolate, loving ass woman. I absolutely loved her. She goes from that to like 85 pounds when she died because she stayed in a hospital because she never came back home when she went in.
Oh my God.
Now we're talking about a 14-year-old daughter, which is my sister, my youngest sister, a 14-year-old daughter and 2 other older kids at home. And now this bitch, the side chick, done gave your dad AIDS. Your dad done took it to mom. Now your mom and dad about to die. And what happens there? All the bullshit happens. So now the side chick is dead. Dad is dead. And now my sisters and my brother is raising themselves in this house, which they end up losing. But it's the bullshit. So now because you decided you want to be with all these women and you're okay with being with all these women, somebody done brought the shit back and killed everybody.
Wow.
So I had to bury my stepmother, my dad, and then the side chick done. Her family buried her, but now we just found out. And mind you, this happened in 1996. We just found out about 2 years ago that we got a other brother that we didn't even know that came from the side chick.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's that type of bullshit. Like shit happens. And that's why it's like, nah, I'm not gonna deal with you wanting no side chick because you don't know who the side chick's sleeping with.
They wrote a song about it.
I'm sure they wrote a song about it. They have
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
My daddy was a Rolling Stone.
Wherever he laid his hat was his home.
Yeah, I know. My daddy was. But the thing about it is that I loved him because at the end of the day, he was very honest with every woman as to who he was, what he did, how he was, and they chose themselves. I'm gonna stick this shit out because I want
crazy? You know what's crazy? It sounds like my Uncle Audrey. And I'm imagining Crystal got kicked off her internet or something.
I know. What just happened? What my sister?
Look, when she come back. There's speaking of the devil. Look, speaking of the devil, there she is. Speaking of the devil. So Crystal, this is what I told her. She just went through that scenario and polished it off, and I said, you know what? They got a song about it. It goes, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Yes. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. Yes. Hey, but look, then you know what I told her? I said, look, that sounds like somebody I know. I got an uncle. His name is Audrey. He was the same way.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, he got how many kids, Crystal?
26.
Oh, hell nah.
Hey.
Jerry.
Crystal, hey, hold on. No, Crystal is one of those 26.
I am. That's my dad.
Mama.
Yeah. My Uncle Audrey. My Uncle Audrey was that same person that you just described. You just told the story. It was my Uncle Audrey was that same person.
Yes. And the shit is bad because it leaves so many. Like I really had to reach out to my sister in Puerto Rico to let her know, look, sis, you are my sister. You know what I'm saying? And I love you. Like right now, she's in my grandmother's house in Fajardo. And, with her boys and, I send money when I can and I do what I can. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to pull up. I'm coming to Puerto Rico. Like I've never let go of my siblings just because they come from other women. Like, we still are the seeds of that, whatever the fuck that bullshit was.
Yeah.
Right. But look, I mean, at the end of the day, God rest his soul. I love my Uncle Audrey to death. I wouldn't trade him to be anybody else. Right. He is what he is, and he did what he did.
Right.
You know what? But
and even the women that got with him had known that he is what he is what he is, and he was what he was, because you're talking about a lot of kids moving forward. Like after the fourth or the fifth kid, you're like, okay, who am I going to be a stepmother to? How many kids? And that's fourth or fifth. So you're talking about 20-something kids. Yeah. All the women that got with him after that is like, oh shit, whether some knew or some didn't, it becomes that.
And he never paid a lick of child support for any of us. None of us. None, not one did he pay child support. How he finagled that one, I have no idea.
He was a bad man.
So is there some of y'all that are like the same age? Like maybe he just had 5, 10, 15 women pregnant in the same year?
Yeah, we're all pretty much in age.
Around the same age.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's got 4 by his wife, who he cheated on. And he cheated on them with my mom. And when
yeah, of
my
course.
mom,
And then the list goes on. Are all the siblings like? Are you and all your siblings like together? Like, do you guys like? Okay, you know what? You know, we are a product of the fuckery he did, but here we are. How you doing? My name is such and such. It's my daddy. I know that's your daddy too. You know, how you doing?
yeah, it's like I'm close with maybe 12 of us. 2 of my siblings have passed away, so it's not still.
Sorry.
So, but I'm close with. It's about I know of 12. Now, when Dad passed, he asked me to find the others, and I did. I went on Ancestry, and I was able to search it out, and I paid for the service, but I didn't reach out to them. One, because I didn't know if these people knew that he was their father, and if there was a scenario where they were raised with another man as their dad. I didn't want to disrupt someone's home because one, you know, 2, they would have a lot of questions. And those are questions that only Dad could answer. And he took those answers, you know, to the grave with him. So my relationship with him, I don't know what his relationship was with my other siblings, but I know that I was a daddy's girl, and I was, you know, privileged to have him in my life. To me, he was a great dad. Whenever I needed him, he was there, and I miss him every day. You know, we're coming up on the anniversary of his death in June. He passed June 14th. And it was it's hard, you know. He's been gone for 7 years, and it still feels like yesterday. I don't think you're ever really prepared to lose a parent, even though you know it's inevitable, you know. And he was in stage 4 cancer when we found out he was even ill, because I guess I'm like my dad in that aspect. I don't like going to the doctor either. But when he finally told us he was already in stage 4, and there was really nothing they said that they do. And I watched him when he did.
Isn't that the craziest thing when you hear stories like that? Just like my father having full-blown AIDS, passed it on to his wife, him, her, and the lover. They're all dead, and then you leave all these kids behind. And then at the end of the day, it's like today, you got commercials. Hey, my name is Mimi, and I have AIDS. And what I did is, this is the pill that I'm taking with this company, and here's my lover. Mwah, mwah, mwah. What?
Right.
Where the fuck was this pill back then?
Exactly.
Fuck. So I totally get it.
So when I found the other siblings, you know, at least like my brother, I can honestly say he's my dad's kid, because he was a spitting image of my dad. And, you know, sometimes I do wish I would have gone ahead and kicked the door open, but I just didn't want to disrupt somebody's life, because only Dad can answer those questions.
So did you see our message? Did you see our Kelly Brown message? She said, damn, and then she said she looks like him.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Who's that?
I don't know. It says Kelly Brown, and it says damn, and then it says she does look like him.
Oh yeah.
She must not be dad.
That's that.
Okay.
Wow.
And that's all right.
So,
you know.
It's
yeah, she's seen him. She knows him.
Yeah.
And it is frustrating to know that Dad did all that, you know. Because, you know, it doesn't just when men are that just promiscuous, or when anybody, whatever partner is that promiscuous, it doesn't just, oh, okay. Nice to meet you, Kelly.
Hi,
it
Kelly.
It doesn't just affect, you know.
So this is about to turn out to a different type of party, but no, go ahead, Mama.
It doesn't just affect, you know, the person who's doing it. It affects those who are left in its wake. You know, for the longest, my sisters hated me because I was a product of my dad cheating on their mom. So it took a while to build the bond that we have now. And it's still, crazy. But I try to, it's really sad to say, but I dumb myself down to fit in with my siblings. And that's hard, and I know it sounds stupid, but
no, it doesn't sound stupid. It's a different perspective, because at the end of the day, I'm with the 3 women, a bunch of kids. My dad catches AIDS from the side chick, and then he takes 2 women down with him and leave all these kids behind. And then you have the dad that decided that he's going to just be a Rolling Stone and have all these kids. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you to ever be sorry for, his actions, because dad did what dad wanted to do. You just happen to be a seed of what dad did, and it's up to you and all the other siblings to be like, hey, we're the seeds of this, and let's just do something powerful or not.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's what I would love to do. I want to get to know and be a part of my siblings' lives. I think we should all know each other. And it got to be so bad because my brother Jimmy, he dated my sister Tracy before they found out they were siblings. And now Jimmy plays for the other team. And we all feel that kind of played a big part. Because when they met, Jimmy was all excited when he and Tracy were dating, and he brought her over to see dad, because the dad can check her out, give him a seal of approval. And my dad was not one to mince words. My dad he just walked out and said whatever was on his mind. So instead of being tactful, he said, Jimmy, I need to talk to you for a moment. No, dad walks on the porch and says, Jimmy, what you doing with your sister? When they pulled into dad's neighborhood, Tracy's looking at her. She's like, oh, my dad lives in this neighborhood. And Jimmy's like, oh, yeah, he probably knows my dad. I bet they probably know each other. They're probably homies. No, her dad is his dad.
Right. Oh, gosh.
And he really liked Tracy. He loved Tracy. He was really into her. And I'm just glad that they didn't, do the horizontal bob, because they were planning to do it that prom night. And of course that didn't happen. Right. So it's just crazy, how things work out. And so even now today, when I meet a guy, if he looks like we could be related, the first thing I ask is, who's your dad? Do you know your dad?
Yeah. And you know what's the crazy thing about that? That you're not even alone with that, because I do not date Spanish men. And if you're from the islands, I don't give a shit who your family is. We're not dating. Like, why? I'm not. If you're not black from the U.S. and I never met. I've never dated someone out of the black race.
But why?
Because we might be family. Because my family goes from blonde hair, blue eyes, to the worst hair and the darkest skin in the islands.
Wow.
So my thing is, if you're from the islands, and I know that my son's father was not from there, and that was the last island man per se that I been with to have a child with, and that was my son is 28 years old. My daughter is 30. It's been decades. I'm not dating an island man. I don't give a shit what island he came from. That's not gonna happen. So yeah. So I totally understand that. That's not, because we might be related.
Mm-hmm.
I have a young cousin, may she rest in peace. She was 18 years old. She dated someone that was in the drug world, and they were killed on a beach, execution style. And I found out maybe 2-3 weeks later that he was related to my father on the opposite end of the island, where she's related to my mother on the other side of the island. So
my God.
So now you're talking about 2 people that I am officially cousins with that were executed on a beach. So my thing is, I'm not dating nobody that's from the Caribbean. I don't give a shit what part of the Caribbean you from. You not. It's not. No, you got to be like, I was born in Alabama. I got a country ass family. like, okay, good. We might have a conversation. But if you tell me something like, I think I got some roots in the islands, wrong answer. Bye. You know, it's just not gonna happen. But no, mama, like, no, this is some real shit talk tonight. I don't know how it went from one thing to another, but it's just beautiful.
It is.
Because at the end of the day, we're not the only ones, even though we have a platform, or you guys have a platform that I'm invited to, and I totally appreciate you guys. I just love it that these conversations could be had, because there's a lot of people out here with a similar type conversation. Like, oh my God, I understand that. That's who I am. I got 15 siblings. My daddy died. We don't get along. We want to have a platform to come and talk to, and then next thing you know, they're on our show. So, no, so we have to be the ones to, and I gotta give you kudos. You know what I'm saying, Crystal, for being who you are, the strong woman that you are, because you are amongst my brothers. Like, every now and then, it seems like they be the takeover. I be like, wait a minute, I gotta step in. Let me get my wine and let me get my shit, because you might need some backup tonight.
Oh yeah, always.
But I love it that your reality, and you're so like, you know what, I can share this, because we're not the only ones in this. You know, and we don't need to sit back and be like, oh my God, we're victims of this shit. No, you know, we're not victims, we're victors, and we can have a conversation and bring more people into us to be like, oh my God, they've been through this and they're so cool. Like, let's have a conversation. And I love that, because I get that a lot. I get that so much more on inbox. Like, I wish like people like would go on my comment and be like, "Oh my God, Mimi, that don't happen," because I think folks are very aware of this is who she is. She's in the industry. We can't just put shit out on her social media, but they will inbox me to death, and then I would spend 4, 5, 6 hours on all my 6 pages on Facebook and Instagram and all my shit. You know, babysitting folks, because they will not come forward because they're embarrassed about it. They're ashamed of it. There's nothing to be embarrassed and ashamed of when we don't have control of the shit that our parents did.
Right. Exactly. It's just like having bad credit because your mama had to buy a washing machine and put it in your name, or put the light bill in your name. And so you start, you know, your credit journey with bad credit because of your parents.
Right. And you know what? It's really crazy that you said that. Yeah, it's crazy that you said that, because my daughter and I had a conversation about that like a couple months ago. And she was like, Mommy, I am so happy that you were never that parent. Uh-oh. Oh my God. What's with the oh my God, George? Is that you? You better put that shit on mute.
George,
you better mute your shit.
No, it was a video I was looking at.
And okay, with the video, don't let it be the wrong brown. I'm just saying. Let me drink a sip of that right quick.
George is on porn.
But what I'm saying is, like, you know, it's so with that being said, it's like, you know, we are the platform for others to come on and say, hey, look, this is what I've been. Oh my God, you all been through it. We can talk about this, because that doesn't happen. You know, and it's sad. It's sad that it doesn't, but it takes this, you know, to make it happen. And with that moving forward, I'm just hoping that more people are tuning in, like, oh shit, we got some place that we can go and we can talk about what we've been through, because folks are really scared to come out and say stuff. Like, don't be scared to come out and say what you've been through. Like, that reality needs to be told, so your kids could know that they can come to you and say, Mommy, I was in daycare or aftercare or school care, and this happened to me. You know? But damn.
That's true, because communication is key. And that's why a lot of people try to shield their kids from reality.
Yes.
And sometimes it does more harm than good. And I'm a good example of that, because I went to private schools my whole life, wasn't allowed to do anything. My mom wouldn't even let me spend the night over other people's house.
Because she was protecting from the shit that she might have been through.
Yeah, well, she was a social worker and she saw a lot of stuff.
Lot. Yes.
But
Yeah.
but the thing is too, with that, it's a double-edged sword because I was spoiled. I didn't have to do anything.
Right.
I didn't have to do laundry. I didn't have to make my own bed. I never had to cook for myself. So I never learned those things. And so when it came time to go away to college, I didn't know how to do anything. I
Right.
wasn't prepared for life. And to me, you're doing your kid a disadvantage when you don't prepare them for life.
Right.
You know, this I feel they take home ec in school, they need to throw some finances in that. Learning about banking and the importance of good credit and you know, the importance of finances, investing, just everything that comes along with financing and credit and things like that. Because I wasn't prepared for anything. I got a credit
Right.
card in college, $800 credit limit. And I went crazy. Bought everybody in the dorm pizza, bought clothes, all that.
Right.
And
Next thing you know, that
it
shit was
was,
maxed out. Like, wait a minute. That shit
yeah,
declined.
literally. Literally. And my mom paid my credit cards for me. I mean, it's like I didn't have to do anything.
Oh, mommy,
So I
everything
was
is free up. Okay, can I go shopping now? Okay, thank you.
right. So I wasn't prepared for life. And I even talked to my mom to this day about it. I was like, why didn't you prepare me for that? And she said she never thought about it. She was so used to doing for me. And
Yes. Yes.
when she looks at me, she saw her baby and didn't realize that, you know, she's grown. She's going to need to know how to do these things, you know? In college, I didn't know how to wash clothes. I had to, basically, I would take my clothes home or take it to my aunt and uncles who, on my mom's side, who lived in Omaha, because I went to Briarcliff College, and that's in Sioux City, Iowa. And so Omaha wasn't far from Iowa. So on the weekends, I would go to Uncle Harold and Aunt Louise's, and I would do laundry. And even there, Aunt Louise would do my laundry. I never learned how to do laundry. I never learned how to do any of that. The domestic things, I never learned that. And so when the twins were born, my mom, once again, you know, I moved out of her house because one, I didn't want to be a burden. And two, I wanted to be self-sufficient. I wanted to learn how to do things on my own so I could take care of my babies because it was my responsibility. And my mom was so mad at me because she wanted to do, once again, she wanted to do everything. So she would wash the baby's clothes. She would buy them any and everything under the sun. I mean, she would spoil them. And I'm just like, I need to learn how to wash their clothes. I need to learn, you know, what temperature to use, what detergent I should use. You know, I need to know these things for myself. And
right, if not, you're gonna put all the clothes together and put some bleach in that bitch, and all the clothes come out tie dye.
Yeah, which
like,
happened. That happened. It ended up being a good. Is a really cute. It was a really cute pattern, but you know, it still happened because I didn't know it, and it just showed me just how much I wasn't prepared. Like I can't cook.
Right.
I'll admit it.
Like I said,
You know,
kind of like her meals. Her meals are like tie-dye meals.
Shut up, George. So it's really crazy because so growing up, like from the age of 12, I was washing clothes by hand. So every Sunday I would wash all the sheets in the house, hang them up outside. I would wash everybody's whites. All the whites would be washed. All the colors would be washed. And my hands would be from the bleach in itself initially. I would have like, you know, today that shit would be like child abuse because I couldn't do nothing with my fingers after I was done with washing clothes. But like by the Tuesday, that shit is all jacked up. By the Saturday, it's all healed. By the Sunday, I'm washing clothes again. And then I was washing clothes. I was and I was the only girl. So it's an only girl and 3 boys. And then my mom was working. So I had to make sure that I cooked for these fuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like we had like you know, the poor man food. We had rice and then egg. There's like egg and rice. And we have like egg rice and ketchup, or we have like tuna fish sandwich, or we have like rice, some fucked up beans that ain't had no potatoes and carrots and none of this shit in it. That shit was just like open up the can, throw that shit in there, heat it up, and that shit gonna go over the rice. And we're gonna make some plantain and we're gonna fry some fucked up chicken. There might be some blood in this chicken, but bitch, you gonna eat this shit. So I fucked up a lot of shit before I got it right. So between the age of like 12 and 17, I had done gotten that shit right. I was good. So I know how to cook some shit by the time I got out the house and wash clothes, because I wash clothes forever. So I was just like, damn, like this bitch on some shit. But at the end of the day, I appreciate it because I know how to make sure that my man is happy.
You just listed off her whole array of dinner. I ain't not near playing.
No.
Crystal, tell her what's in your right surprise.
But I'm gonna tell you something.
Hold on,
Rice and egg is
hold on,
shit.
hold on. But listen. Crystal, tell her what's in your right surprise.
Tuna and mayo.
Right,
it's good. It's good though. It's really good.
Ask her what she just recently did to ramen noodles.
Oh, I put tuna in it and mayo.
Yes! I don't know about the mayo. Okay, so you know what? So Crystal, I need to come see you.
Yeah.
George, you shut up. Shut up. We're gonna do some shit right. Because look, my thing is, somebody come over talking about, what you gonna cook. I'll be like, babe, guess what? Tonight is one of those nights where I want to go to Red Lobster. And you can have anything you want. What we're not gonna do is I'm not gonna cook, because what had happened was shit happened growing up. And sometimes you gotta be honest about your shit, because you might have a man that's a chef.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've dated guys that are chefs that are like, baby, you ain't got to worry about shit. I got you. And every night they want to cook something for my ass because they want to show off on their shit for years.
Nice.
And I ain't got to cook shit, but every now and then you be like, baby, I got something for you. And you surprise them and they be like, oh shit, she can fucking cook. Yes, I can cook. And you decided you want to cook on your own. But, I might have to come over there, CB, and we might have to do some little meals together so you can surprise somebody every now and then. Shut up, George. Don't be shaking your... I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? She might turn out to be like a whole Puerto Rican. She might turn out to be a whole Puerto Rican.
Yeah, George thinks I'm hopeless.
Please help my cousin. She keep a man all the way until dinner time.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right.
Pretty trying to play it off. She be like, well, this nigga this, and this nigga that, and this motherfucker, and that, and do. I know what happened. You cooked the meal. That's what happened.
So what happened is there's a situation, and we can't show out in our situation, so we gotta wait until we got the really big stoves and the really good shit and the really good pots and pans to make sure that I cook you the meal that you're gonna be so happy with. But that shit ain't happening right now. So we're gonna do some ramen noodles. We're gonna cut up some chicken in that bitch, put some corn in it, green beans. And you're gonna have a meal in a bowl, bitch, with some freaking Hawaiian rice and some freaking glass of wine. Stop it.
Ooh, that sounds good.
See, I'll do some shit like that in 2 seconds.
That sounds good. See, I can make pasta. I can make spaghetti and definitely rice, ramen noodles, and hot dogs. And
at the end of the day, you could always be a vegetarian. It's like, baby, what do you eat? I do fish and vegetables because I've outgrown all the other shit that I did ever. So whoever you with, they're gonna always know that they're gonna eat some fish and veggies. And if they be like, you know what, babe, you ain't. They might say, look, babe, you don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? You do fish and veggies, but guess what? That's not what we're doing moving forward. We're gonna do some of this and some of that. This is what I do. We might do some Uber Eats today, but I might cook tomorrow. You cook the next day. And everybody wins. Shut up. Everybody got to win.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls.
I'm just saying, we got to make that shit work. Like that shit can't be about cooking. I'm not gonna leave somebody because they can't cook. I'm like, look, bitch, I might be you. I might be the person that can't cook. Can you cook? Because if not, we're gonna do some fucking Uber Eats. or we gonna go out and
Right?
or we gonna get some fucking recipes and we gonna work this shit out. But we're not gonna starve to death, bitch. You're gonna have
Right.
oatmeal in the morning, a salad in the afternoon, and some rice and beans and some chicken at night. The chicken might have blood in it. We just gotta put that shit back in and refry it. I'm just
Oh shit!
I'm just saying.
Oh, you killing me. Y'all killing me.
You know, I'm not just Puerto Rican. I'm an island chick. I'm not the typical Puerto Rican. Like my sister be like, I'm making this. I be looking at her shit like, but that ain't me. Because I'm not gonna kill a pig and stick a stick up the ass into the throat and put it in the backdrop with a fucking in a yard somewhere and put it underground and that shit comes out to be all kind of meat that the whole neighborhood could eat. I'm not gonna do that because I'm not Puerto Rican. My dad was Puerto Rican. That don't mean I was. He was Puerto Rican. He met my mom in St. Croix. They did this shit. And then in the islands, you know, we do a whole lot of, rice, beans, chicken, cabbage, all this shit. But I'm a salad chick today. I want to eat a good salad. Give me some chicken. What I got right now tonight? I have a freaking a grilled chicken salad and some wings.
Nice.
That's it. Grilled chicken salad and some wings. I ain't trying to do all that rice, beans, coleslaw. Who the fuck am I cooking for unless I'm going to eat the same shit for the next 5 days?
Okay. You got a point. You got a point.
George, shut up and keep smoking. I'm just saying, there's one thing versus another. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right now, like I'm like, okay, you know what? It's like a whole lot of for a year now. It's been a whole lot of hotel living because of our COVID shit and eviction shit and all types of shit. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you know what? Guess what? I'm gonna have to do a home shit sooner or later. What am I really getting into?
Yeah.
Am I gonna find a 1-bedroom, or am I have to do a 2-bedroom? Am I do a townhouse or a house? Because I'll never do an apartment. So what am I doing? Right. We are in these worlds right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, ain't nobody cooking shit in a fucking hotel.
Yeah, that's true.
We're doing ramen noodles. We're gonna cut up some chicken in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Put some other shit in there. Put that whole little bowl in a damn microwave. Heat that shit up and eat and have a good night. And my thing is, if you're coming in my world, you're gonna be eating the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Or are we going out to eat?
You got to broaden your mind. Be more creative. You'd be surprised. You could have whole motherfucking meals in a hotel.
George, okay, I understand that, but I'm not gonna spend 5 fucking hours cooking chicken.
It don't take 5 hours.
All this shit in the fucking microwave and 2 burners.
It don't take 5 hours.
So you know what?
Let me tell you something.
So when we have a next show and then we do it after hours,
if I can make a full 4-course meal in prison in less than an hour, and you goddamn it, you got to be able to do it in the hotel.
Okay, so let me tell you something, because I got a daughter and I got a brother in prison. And the type of little quick shit that they be making, all these fucking natural shits and shit that you got to make with the iron and all that shit. I ain't trying to do all that shit.
Get some grilled cheese.
I'm not trying to do no grilled cheese, nothing, all that shit. Like I got my daughter 3 packages in the last 4 weeks. Like, what are you doing with all this? But she got her hustle on. She's selling shit up. Like she got a whole store. She got a store. She got 3 stores in a prison. Damn. Like how? What are you doing? I'm like, yo, I ain't even knocking your hustle, because you doing your shit. You making sure that your shit is quick, because at the end of the day, I ain't putting that kind of money in your account.
Right.
I had one. Shoot. 3 for 5 is a motherfucker.
My daughter got 3 storages. She got people that do her hair because she got dreads. So, now they're accepting dreads because they used to cut them shit. So now it's dreads. You know what I'm saying? And she doing from dress to people ironing her clothes, from people to wash her clothes, and she cooking, and they're cooking, and they're making sure she eat good, and the kind of stuff that I'm like, wait a minute, because you're telling me about nachos, this and that. Y'all got cheese, meat, and she's like, mommy, every time I tell you to send me these packages, that's what it comes from. That's where the meat and all that. And I'm like, oh my God, really?
Wow.
She don't even know what eating the cafeteria. She's like, Mommy, I haven't done that eating the cafeteria in years. And I'm like, wow, well, kudos to you. I can't wait till you come home so you can cook some of this shit for me. You know, your mom is over here. I'm doing worse than the jail shit that y'all doing over there in prison.
Y'all killing me.
Between that and lean, I said, y'all totally relaxed. I'm like, damn, okay, go ahead. But you know, it is what it is. But no, to get back to our shit. Like at the end of the day, the older you get, the less shit you want to cook. Who's cooking a 10-course meal? Who's really doing that? You're cooking a 10-course meal, George?
Yeah. I'll cook on Monday and eat all the way to Saturday.
Okay,
on that same meal.
So CB, how far are you from George?
I'm in Arizona. He's in 1,800 miles.
Oh shit, that's a whole lot.
Oh, more than that. It's 18 hours away.
Yeah, 18 hours.
Wow. That's a long ways. So yeah, we need to do a reunion, a union before we do a reunion, because a reunion means that we met and but we need to do a we're gonna do some shit this summer, whether it's next summer or Christmas or whatever. But we need to do something.
I agree.
This shit is so beautiful. I love it. I love the chemistry. I love, and Miss Kelly Brown, are you still with us? Because honey, you are.
Yep.
You.
Yep, she still is.
Miss Brown, I'm just saying.
Hey George, if Nicole couldn't cook, would that have been a deal breaker for you? If Nicole couldn't cook, would that have been a deal breaker for you?
She wasn't much of a cooker when we met.
Seriously?
Now she's a cooker. I rubbed off on her.
So Miss Brown, hold on a second, guys, because Miss Brown is answering right now, and I'm absolutely loving her little spirit. So all I want to say is, Miss Brown, thank you so much for being over here with us. And I'm gonna say, next time you show up, you gotta bring your glass and you gotta be on set. That's what it's gonna be. But the fact that you gotta be at work at 6 o'clock and it's 2:30, 3, 4, 5, 6, take your ass to sleep. We love you dearly. Thank you so much for coming in. And
thanks,
George, you might want to close that chat. And
it's been a great after show, and it's been great chatting with you guys. This has been a great show. Our topic next week will be relationships and infidelity and karma.
So Miss Kelly Brown. So next week. So what's gonna happen is that my brother George is gonna be smoking, because we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna smoke and we're gonna drink. You might need to bring your own smoking drink so we can have like all this night. And then that's what's gonna happen. So tune in next week, Miss. I know we can't look, you can't sleep, but we're about to shut this show down. So I don't know what's gonna happen afterwards, but whatever happens, we're not accounted for because we're over here doing our thing. George, put your silver glass up, And I'm gonna make sure that I'm here next week. So Miss Kelly Brown, at the end of the day, make sure you tune in. Have your glass, have your food, have your shit ready, because we're gonna have a great time. And that's what I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah. All right, everybody, thank you so much for sticking around for the after show, and we will see you guys next week again for your midweek motivation with CB and the boys. So everybody enjoy the rest of your night. And in case we don't see you or wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. So this has been CB and the Boys After Show, and we will see you next week. We're out.